We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas and the Credits.
Brian Dos Santos. Batting second, second baseman number 15, Miguel Giraldo. Batting third, left fielder number 8.
Oh, welcome to Dominico Field. Thomas West here alongside Zach Benoit. It's a rescheduled game that we're playing tonight from a rainout from earlier on in the season. The Guelph Royals are in town to take on the Maple Leafs. And Zach, let's start with last time out because it felt like this Leafs team got closer to that win that they're looking for, that they've been searching for since the opening day here in the Canadian Baseball League. There were definitely some positives last game. The Well and Jackfish are a tough team to beat, but they did fall 6-2 in that one.
Yeah, you look at kind of just the overall statistics from that game. Yadier Martinez gave you another, hard-fought battle on the mound, and then you had some offensive looks. You just couldn't get that timely hit really through the game. On the other side, the Well and Jackfish, they've been a team that are just so red hot to start this season. It feels like any team that plays them, it's either going to be a nail biter or the Jackfish running away with it. And the Jackfish kind of, in that game on Sunday, they ran away with it early. Toronto tried to scratch and claw back, but they couldn't get those offensive key hits that they needed.
One really big positive I thought from that game was Matt Brandt just staying hot at the plate. Man, he's just been so good in that catching role for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He has 2 home runs this year. I look at the first one that he hit against Hamilton against Luis Ramirez. Tough pitcher, right? He was a guy who was, in the Arizona system for a little while. And then he hits it off another tough pitcher who was so good last year in Danny Howitt. I got a chance to catch up with him before the game. All right, joined now by Matt Brandt. Matt, I know it's been a bit of a hot streak for you at the plate. You get the home run last game. What's kind of hitting been like playing in the Canadian Baseball League this year, and how you feeling at the plate?
Just trying to make adjustments, keeping things simple. It's definitely been a change of pace from being at school, so just trying to keep it simple and catch some barrels and see what happens.
Matt, you got Veselinovic on the mound today. You've caught him a couple of times. What have you kind of seen from him in his first couple of games, and what are you looking to see from him today?
He's got really elite strikeout stuff. I think the trouble with him is sometimes long innings, but when he manages that, he's done really good. I think he's got almost 20 strikeouts now, so he's been a really good pitcher for us. Hopefully he can go deep today.
Matt, you and many other players have, played the D1, D2, the NAIA, and, for everyone, it's kind of an adjustment probably coming here because you're seeing, much different people who are a lot older than you're playing, and you're maybe talking behind the plate as well. What's it been like for you adjusting to this level of baseball? Because I know, you've had success for it so far.
Behind the plate, it's definitely just been trying to learn my pitchers. I still feel like I'm learning some of them, what their preferences are. Still trying to take a leadership role as a younger guy. It's been a little tough, but I'm doing my best, just trying to keep my pitchers throwing the ball over the plate, and we'll find success that way.
Matt, I want to take you back to last game. I know it was kind of a cool moment for you because Yasiel Puig made that crazy throw from the outfield. And that's got to be a crazy thing for you, right? Having, Puig, the former big leaguer, throwing the ball to you. That's got to be one of the harder throws that you've seen coming from the outfield. Can you kind of describe what that looked like and how cool that was for you?
I saw the play in slow motion. It felt like the play took 20 seconds. When I saw the video over again, I was amazed by how quick it went. But it was a missile to home plate. Great throw, had the guy out by a decent amount. So it was just a really cool moment for me. I grew up watching him, so it's awesome to share the field with him.
I know the Leafs are trying to get back in the win column today. I know Guelph and you are both, have been hungry for wins to start this season. What do you guys kind of need to do today to come away with a victory?
Hopefully today just some bounces go our way. We got an offensive breakout going. I think we've been doing okay with our approaches at the plate. I think it just hasn't fallen for us yet, and I think we just got to keep grinding, and today could be a day.
All right, Matt, thanks for this. Good luck today.
Thank you.
All right, good to hear from Matt Brandt there. There were a lot of good things that happened for the Guelph Royals last game. There were home runs, they had a walk-off win, but I wanted to start with a cool thing that happened last night and something that you don't see every day.
And did they do the hidden ball trick?
Oh my goodness, what happened?
I think they got him. Wow. So I even looked down for a second, and they pull off the hidden ball trick.
Oh my goodness.
That is something I don't think I've ever seen.
So, Zach, you were there.
Yes.
You were calling that. I don't know how many times you've ever seen a hidden ball trick, but walk me through what you saw in that play.
Yeah, so it was right after Anderson Feliz. He got a RBI double in the ball game. And Guelph, they were trailing behind Jacob Cush. He was lighting up the zone, but it just felt like all of the hitters on the side of the Cardinals were just hitting everything in the zone. And it was just such a heads-up play. Nobody expected it. Nobody in the booth expected. The fans were caught off guard. I was caught off guard. I was looking down, marking in my scorebook because, as you know, I score all the games that we do. And I look up, and the players are running off the field, and that's when it clicked to me because Connor Morrow is jumping up and down with the ball in his hand, saying they did the hidden ball trick. And, I went back onto the YouTube side of things, looked through it, and they pulled it off perfectly. It was a really big turning point in that game for them defensively. It just kind of felt like things might have started to spiral out of control for the side of Guelph, but that settled things down, and then they had a massive fifth inning that kind of just completely flipped the momentum of the game.
Yeah, 5 runs in that fifth inning, which would eventually lead to a walk-off sac fly from Miguel Geraldo. They got good pitching from Cush, Deans, and Thomas Escoria in that game. And Zach, think about this Guelph Royals team. They got off to a pretty bad start, right? Like, they lost their first 5 games, and then they've come in and got 2 consecutive wins, and all of a sudden it feels like things are starting to turn around for this club.
Yeah, the kind of biggest consensus I got, being in and around Guelph was just a lot of stuff early season just wasn't clicking. They weren't getting that timely hit. They weren't getting that opportunity on the mound to get out of innings. The innings were kind of going a little bit longer. And, now they've had 2 wins under their belt. They started off the season. It was a rough time. You played Welland twice. You played London, who started off really strong. And you just kind of scuffled to get things going. I think the last 2 wins, the start of it being against the London Majors at Labatt Park, then last night at home, able to win against the Hamilton Cardinals. Momentum is starting to shift. The players, they feel a lot of the momentum shifting. And I think the biggest swing of the night, in my opinion, it wasn't that 2-run home run from Connor Morrow. It was actually the bases clearing double by Ryan Dos Santos, because in that 5th inning, it was started by the bottom half of the order. The 7 and 8 hitters, they drew the walks, got on base, they got it to the top of the order, and then finally that big timely hit to get some runs on the board, get some momentum. It's the saying of baseball, hitting is contagious, and that's kind of what happened in that 5th inning. The hitting was just contagious, and the bats just started to look so much better after that point of the ball game.
Marcos Castillo is a player that's garnered a lot of attention, obviously, for his banana ball playing. He's inserted into the lineup tonight, and expecting him to have a big night on the side of the Guelph Royals. But I wanted to key in on another thing that I thought was really cool. So the CBL Change-Ups, a podcast that runs, they talk about the Canadian Baseball League. They had a great interview with Marcos Castillo, and I thought this was a fantastic clip from Marcos Castillo on playing against Yasiel Puig, one of his childhood idols.
Funny enough, Yasiel Puig's in the league. And as a baseball player, I loved him when he joined in as a rookie with the Dodgers. I wanted to play like him, so I think it's pretty cool that I get to play against him in the league. So I have so many players that I like, but yeah, I really respect him as a ball player, and just to see when I play against him as a kid, I grew up literally had my PlayStation controller, and it was a Yasiel Puig sticker on the controller. And, playing MLB The Show. And I looked at his stance. I like I like the way he held the bat. I like the way his confidence, his swagger on the field, just the wild horse, like running around and kind of throwing guys out from the wall and stuff like that. I really like, hey, I want to be like that guy. So it's going to be really cool to see him play for the time being, and hopefully I kind of replicate what he does on the field at that game. That would be cool.
And with glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Go Leafs, go! Woo!
All right, thank you, Kirsten. We are all set to go here for baseball action between the Guelph Royals and the Toronto Maple Leafs. A look at the lineup on the side of the Guelph Royals. Some familiar faces in that lineup to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Ryan Dos Santos is the DH today and leading things off, as he did for so many years here in Toronto. Miguel Geraldo, who's been red hot for this Guelph Royals team, is batting second. Victor Mescai, we'll talk about him later on, a Brazilian player new to this lineup. He's going to be an interesting guy to watch. Garrett Takamatsu, another former Toronto Maple Leaf, a Rookie of the Year here in Toronto in 2018, a league MVP here as well. Davis Nadal, who's the shortstop. Then Andy Leader is followed by Marcos Castillo, Matthew Ward, and Kyle Cush. And we just heard that interview from Marcos Castillo. I thought that was really cool. So, he was talking about having the Yasiel Puig PlayStation controller. This will be cool to play against Puig here today for him.
Oh, yeah, he is going to be absolutely amped to be playing against him. Marcos, one of the nicest guys you'll be able to chat with. I got an opportunity to talk with him after the first game I was up there in Guelph, and he's just very easy to talk to about baseball, just very friendly. You can approach him and really just ask him anything, and he just was super excited to get the opportunity to play in the CBL, and listening to the interview he did, just really excited to play in this game against idol of his in Yasiel Puig.
Well, Nick Veselinovic is going to get the start for the Toronto Maple Leafs today. A big lefty, 6'5", 23 years old. Spent time with the Niagara Purple Eagles in the NCAA's Division I. I mentioned that because he's going to face Matt Ward at some point in this game, and I believe that he would have caught him at some point down the road because he also played for the Purple Eagles as well. Veselinovic, I guess, kind of trying to get things back on track in this start. He hasn't looked bad over the first two outings, but the Leafs would love to see him shove and go 4 or 5 innings today.
Yeah, the last game out against Barrie, I don't think that was the Veselinovic we have been so accustomed to seeing. He allowed 2 earned runs in 3 innings. He struck out 7. I think that was the thing that really caught my eye in the 3 innings work. 7 of the outs were via the punch out, so he has that stuff.
First pitch is at the top of the zone for strike 1 to Ryan Dos Santos. This will be a lefty v lefty matchup for Dos Santos. And that one just misses outside. Ryan Dos Santos is riding a 4-game hit streak right now, and it's been quite the hit streak as well, batting .389 over that stretch. Crazy thing, Zach, just 3 walks in those last 4 games. As he swings over the top of that one. As you know, that was something that he was known for here in Toronto, was drawing the extra bases, but he's been swinging the bat a lot this year.
Yeah, been very consistent with the bat up there in Guelph. One of the big things was in the offseason, he was seeing a lot of pitching from the left side to get used to it, because he says that it was always the toughest part. So over the winter, seeing a lot of velo from that left side kind of got him used to it, and then in game time he's seeing it now, and it just looks pretty simple.
2-2 here on Dos Santos. The big lefty's pitch is just low. Count runs full. So Santos has worked deep into this count here. Veselinovic with the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Blew the fastball by him upstairs, and there's one away.
Again, that's just the forte we've seen from Veselinovic, where he's just so capable of striking out batters. He has high strikeout stuff. Doesn't matter if it's a lefty or righty at the plate.
Matt Brandt, who we talked to earlier, is doing the catching today for Veselinovic. And now here's Miguel Giraldo. Giraldo, a big cut at the first pitch, taps it towards the mound. It goes off Veselinovic, and there's no play at first. Spencer Ross was going to have to flip that one with his bare hand, but just couldn't hang on to it. And that'll go down as a bit of a messy infield hit for Giraldo.
Yeah, right off the pitcher. And Giraldo's been a very interesting player to continue to watch here for the side of the Guelph Royals, coming in today batting .333. But he also leads the Royals with 2 home runs.
Yeah, Guelph didn't hit any home runs in the first couple of games, and now the power has started to come around. That's been a big part of their 2 consecutive victories that they've put together.
Yeah, before yesterday, they were at the bottom of the league in home runs by a pretty decent margin now.
Yeah, with 0.
Only now they only sit 1 home run back of Brantford.
Yeah, unbelievable. So here's Victor Mascai, an interesting player who comes from Brazil. He's represented Brazil a couple of times, playing at the World Baseball Classic and the WCBC qualifiers. Here's the 1-1 to Mascai. There's a swing and a miss, strike 2. You may remember him for hitting the first home run of the tournament for Brazil in the most recent World Baseball Classic. Hit it off of Michael Wacha against the USA. Went the other way out in Houston. A big swing for the young Brazilian. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one misses outside. Also
played in the Italian league last year, so I know for the side of Guelph, they were very excited about this signing. They are happy to have him here, and just kind of adds more depth into that lineup.
2-2 now, the count on Mascai in his first CBL at bat. And he swings and misses, strike 3. And the stuff looks sharp today from Veselinovic as he blows another one by a Guelph Royal batter.
Well, if there was one player in this lineup that I think is going to be a big challenge, it's the gentleman coming up right now, Garrett Takamatsu, a guy who has made Dominico Field his home for so long now with Guelph for the past couple of seasons. He knows how this park plays better than anybody else.
27 years old from North York. And he is a bit of a legend around these parts. Won the Rookie of the Year with the Maple Leafs, was a league MVP with the team in the 22 season as well. And he has always been a tough out in this league. That pitch is in the dirt from Veselinovic, not to mention that he's a right-handed batter facing the lefty, has that advantage as well.
He also started the season on a 4-game hit streak, where the power wasn't really there. He kind of took a step back to start the season, and he's been trying to find it so far.
The 2-0 pitch ripped into the outfield. This may find a gap. Takamatsu makes the turn. He's headed for second. It rolls all the way to the wall. DeBanning gets it in. The runner's coming home, and there's no throw. Giraldo scores, and it's 1-0 Guelph.
That's just a good piece of hitting out of Takamatsu. You just stay with the ball, go all the way through it, and you rip it right into the gap. The outfield completely playing the pull, so you have a beautiful gap in the right center. And with the speed of Giraldo coming around the bases, he scores with ease.
So here's Davis Nadal, who has a runner in scoring position in Takamatsu. Garrett Takamatsu does not have blazing speed at second base, but he does have a chance to score on a single here from Nadal. Nadal swings at the first pitch, and Zach Veselinovic has been effective working inside to these lefties.
And this is also a fun at-bat because Nadal, he's not going to get cheated up there. You saw the swing there on the first one. He's going to take a hack every single time. And Veselinovic, you got to just continue to challenge, pick corners, and that's a beautiful fastball right there.
0-2 the count now. And he was a big part of getting the home run party started over the last couple games for the Guelph Royals. Hit a grand slam out in London against the Majors. The 0-2. And it's tapped towards third. It was a defensive swing. The throw to first offline. And that's one of the more strange plays you'll see in baseball. So Nadal, that pitch was going to hit Nadal. He swung at the ball to defend himself, tapped it down the third baseline, and it ended up being a perfect roller down to Fabian, who wasn't able to get the throw off in time.
I think that's just the picture-perfect swinging bunt, if you can put it. Just playing defense while you're trying to get some offense going. But credit to Fabian, too. I mean, he barehanded that, made a great throw over to first. It's just Nadal has some good speed, and it would have been a tough play nonetheless.
Yeah, Nadal also fell down in the box because he was also ducking out of the way of the pitch at the same time. That is just a bizarre play. Here's the 1-0 to Andy Leader. Fabian is joined by Jordan Mandalay at short, Spencer Ross at second base, and Cooper Tompkinson getting the start today for the Maple Leafs. He's over at first. Leader takes just low, and the count's now 3-0. The outfield is Marcus Connect in right, Dennis DeBanning in center, and J.J. Dutton in left. Yasiel Puig is the DH today for the Leafs. Vasilinovic able to find his way in the strike zone after the 3-0 count. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Andy Leader. Runner goes, Leader swings and fouls it off, right?
Yeah, yes, yes. I was looking up to see if I saw it. I just completely missed it.
Yeah, we've got a tough angle with the sun kind of shining into our broadcast booth, in quotations, up on the hillside. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and it's ball four, just missed. Leader draws the walk. This looked like it was going to be a quick inning for Veselinovic, and now the Guelph Royals are getting some base runners here in the first. Veselinovic looks a bit sharper than he has in his, I mean, he hasn't looked unsharp in his first two outings, but he's made some really good pitches. There's been some tough luck. The walk, one of the weirder tappers up the third baseline that you'll see. He had a ball kind of go off his shin, ended up being an infield single by Giraldo, and he came in to score in this inning. He's got to bear down here facing Castillo.
Yeah, the only really hard contact was the Garrett Takamatsu double. Other than that, it's just been kind of luck going in the way of the Guelph Royals to start.
Bases loaded. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Marcos Castillo takes strike one. Castillo hitting 174 on the young season. Castillo spent a little bit of time in the 2024 season with the Brantford Red Sox, and as you all know, played banana ball, and then came back to the Canadian Baseball League. The 1-1. Skied in the air, foul territory, hooking towards the line, and it will bounce into the Guelph Royal bullpen.
Which is a pretty short-staffed bullpen today.
Yeah, we were told that there may only be one option out of the bullpen after the starter Edgar Garcia today for the Guelph Royals, so that's something to keep in mind for the Maple Leafs. Even if they give up some runs here, the opportunity may open itself up later in the game. Here's the 1-2. Castillo slashes one down the left field line, and it's off the fence and foul. Foul by, what would you say, about 15 feet there down the line?
Yeah, just slapped right in the corner there. And Castillo just trying to get off on the right foot. It's been a tough start to the season for him, but a big moment like this to try to expand the lead.
Yeah, he went out and got that baseball, but just a little bit out in front. Couldn't keep his hands inside it. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And this one's hit in the air to center field. Dropping, in comes Dennis DeBanning, who makes the catch on the run. That great speed came in handy there from the Maple Leafs, and Dennis DeBanning in center field. Guelph gets one. Maple Leafs trail after the top of the first. Well, some big league talent on the mound today for Edgar Garcia. We've seen this guy for a couple of years, but as some may know, played for the Reds and Twins in Major League Baseball and always a threat on the mound, Zach.
Yeah, last season he was dominant at 2.83 ERA. This year so far he's only appeared in one game, and it was against the Jackfish, where he didn't necessarily pitch poorly. It was just more so the Jackfish were just on top of everything that he was offering. He only went 3 innings, allowed 2 earned runs, 3 hits, 2 strikeouts, and 1 walk. And you know, in that game, it looked like he was going to be able to go deep in the ball game, But again, like I mentioned, the Jackfish were just working counts, and they were able to get him out early, and that was the turning point of the game. He's trying to come here and change the narrative of his season against the Maple Leafs, a team that he's pitched fairly well against in his CBL career.
We've seen him in different roles throughout his time, whether it be bullpen or start. He's the starter today, Zach, and he has to go 8 innings. That's pretty much the game plan today for the Guelph Royals. Matt Fabian is going to lead things off for the Maple Leafs, the third baseman today, and he's been heating up with the bat of late as well. He hits in each of his last 2 games. Here's the 1-0. And Fabian able to fight this one off, 1-1. Matt Fabian had a couple of hits, including an RBI double last game against the Welland Jackfish.
And this is a guy that won the batting title in his rookie campaign with the Brantford Red Sox in 2023, a .406 average. He has the contact skill in that bat. It's just he's trying to get his season turned around here for the Maple Leafs.
I mean, I'd say it's flowing in the right direction right now. I mean, he's been hitting the ball hard. And this time he strikes out looking, says the home plate umpire. He checked his swing as well, and there's one away. Marcus Connect also picked up a hit last game, 1 for 4 against the Jackfish. As he sits in the number 2 spot today for the Maple Leafs.
Off to a fairly good start this season in 21 at-bats, batting .333. And the extra base hit pop is there, 7 hits, and 3 of them have been for extra bases.
Marcus Connect and Dennis DeBanning, both very important in this lineup, as they always have been, but this year they are the guys that hit in front of and behind Yasiel Puig, so trying to give him a bit of lineup protection. Connect takes inside, and it's been that way the whole year. The Maple Leafs, you know, they have lost 5 games in a row, but this is one part of their lineup that they are very happy with. The 2-3-4 slot. Here's the 1-1. Connect takes a strike. And this is something you'll see from Edgar Garcia. He does not walk a lot of guys. The Guelph Royals have a lot of faith that he can go deep into this game because of that fact. He's going to attack the Maple Leafs and hopefully for Guelph get them in swing mode early on. The 1-2. Check swing. Strike 3 called anyway. Strikeouts in identical fashion to start the game back to back as Connect goes down looking.
It looks like Garcia has that breaking ball in the outside half working early, and it's just kind of fooling these hitters, where it's looking like it's starting, possibly on the inside half, and then it's just breaking outside, and nobody wants to chase it, but it's a beautiful pitch.
Here's Yasiel Puig, and the first pitch to him just misses. I almost wonder if the Maple Leafs hitters kind of had the approach early on where they're thinking, the bullpen's short. You want to try and make Garcia pitch. But in the first 2 batters, Edgar Garcia has proved that he's going to be in the strike zone. Now he's missed twice to Yasiel Puig, and I'll be honest, Zach, Puig doesn't have a high batting average this year, but he also hasn't seen a lot of pitches to hit this season as well. We have seen opposing pitchers consistently try and stay away from the middle of the plate of Yasiel Puig. This time he hits a ball down and away, but fouls it off.
That's been the going theme really around the league when facing the Maple Leafs, is just stay away from the barrel of Puig. Been doing a really good job of that to start the season.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Can't leave anything over the middle because Puig will hit it a mile. Here's the 2-1. Just outside. That was the pitch that Garcia, or the location Garcia had working for him in the first 2 at-bats. That time just a little bit too far out.
Yeah, difference here is he tried to go with the fastball in that spot. He's gone with the breaking ball the last 2 times.
The 3-1 pitch, and Puig hits it high and deep to left field, and that one's gone. He left one in the middle of the plate, and Yasiel Puig destroyed it.
Well, we talked about wanting to miss the barrel when you're pitching to Puig. He did not miss it there. Looked like he tried to go back to the fastball, but after the last pitch, Puig timed it up perfectly, sailing all the way over into the skate park.
We have a 1-1 game on the back of the big power of Yasiel Puig. Boy, the ball just comes off his bat. It looks a little different when it comes off Yasiel Puig's bat. Even the outs that he's had this season have been hard hit balls. And that one was just destroyed on a line onto the skate park. The 0-1 pitch now to Dennis DeBanning, who has great power of his own. He's only played 4 games this season for the Maple Leafs. Zach, he's hit a home run in 3 of them. And the one game that he didn't hit a home run, and he had a sharply hit double off the wall as well. 2-0 though, the count now, as time is called at the plate.
DeBanning is probably one of the most excited players to just play baseball. Walked up to him today during the BP, and he just had the biggest smile on his face. I was walking up to you and him chatting, and he's just so happy to be on the diamond.
So Garcia will end up striking out the side, but around the big swing from Yasiel Puig. A home run, and this game is tied here as we head to the second.
What I look for in a Rawlings is a combination of things. Something that will kind of maintain for a long period of time. I've had a lot of success with Rawlings over the years.
What I like about my Rawlings glove is the feel. The feel is everything. It's good to get that feel in your hands, and when you have a Rowling, it's more easy to catch. Weight goes a long way, and I feel like Rawlings does a really good job of getting you top of the line leather.
As far as the leather, I usually stick to Pro Preferred. I've actually always used Pro Preferred. I loved it from the start, so I'm kind of a guy, if I like something, I usually don't change it. So since the first day I signed with Rawlings, I've been using Pro Preferred.
What I like about my Rawlings glove is it's always felt the same. And it never falls apart. It feels good every single day I put it on my hand. And it's a mark of a pro.
Well, back here at Dominico Field, a 1-1 game as we take a look at the history books of Ryan Dos Santos. Spent his whole career here with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Must be a funny feeling coming back here on the other side of things today for him.
Yeah, I asked him last night, I said, how you feeling about going back to your old stomping grounds? And he said, it's going to feel weird at first, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's funny because obviously he works and lives in and around Toronto. And so he said, he's like, it's going to be an easy drive for sure to get down to the ballpark. But he's excited to be back here, and to start the season, he's been red hot for the Guelph Royals.
Seems like nothing's changed. He's still hitting at the top of the order. He's batting 300. It's a familiar scene here in Toronto, even though he is on the other team now. This is Matt Ward at the dish, former teammate of the pitcher in Veselinovic with the Niagara Purple Eagles in this NCAA's Division I. Matt Ward trying to add on after the Maple Leafs tied things up in the bottom of the first, and Ward is going to foul this one off.
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting at-bat because of the point that you made that, they were battery mates at one point in their careers, but also Matthew Ward has been putting up some really good at-bats. The numbers don't show it, but he has been looking strong at the plate, working counts, and it's just the luck so far in the at-bat just hasn't been going his way.
Here's the 2-1 from Veselinovic. And Ward hits one sharply on the ground. Big hop to Mandalay, who flips to first in plenty of time for out number 1.
The good old Christie Pitts hop is what Mandalay had to fight off there on the lip of the grass, but he does it with ease.
Boy, Yardon Mandalay makes those hops look easier than they really are, doesn't he? He's silky smooth out there at short. Here's Kyle Cush in the number 9 spot today.
Kyle Cush was a big reason why this Royals team last night were able to come away with the victory, draw 2 big walks, which led to the big inning and then the eventual walk-off sacrifice fly. He was the run that actually came in to score.
He's ahead in the count here, 2-0. Looking for his first hit of this season as he takes a strike. You saw Veselinovic running in. That was because Cush showed bunt, thinking maybe he could lay one down. Maple Leafs infield was alert there as they came in aggressively. Here's the 2-1. Swung on and missed. Actually, that was strike 3, excuse me. As Veselinovic is able to mow down Cush.
Got him chasing at 2 fastballs. There was one earlier in the count, and then that one, the high fastball, he gets him to swing right through and can't catch up to it.
Ryan Dos Santos will get his second at-bat here in the second inning. 0 for 1, struck out last time. Takes the first pitch down and away, ball 1.
This is a very similar kind of results we saw from the Royals last night, where it took them a little bit to kind of get used to the pitching of Luis Ramirez from the Hamilton Cardinals, but by the time the order went through a second, third time, it looked like the at-bats became more comfortable. So I'd be curious to see if they adapt that kind of mindset and approach here against Veselinovic.
Dos Santos ahead in the count, now 3-0. Ryan Dos Santos, a .312 hitter in his long Canadian Baseball League career. Started back in 2019 with the Toronto Maple Leafs. And he takes ball 4. That's a 4-pitch walk. That's the 4th walk of the season for Dos Santos.
Don't be surprised to see him take off for second as well. He leads the team with 4 stolen bases. Team leader in stolen bases, team leader in hits so far in the young season. And the guy that's up to bat now, Miguel Geraldo, close behind him with 7.
Yeah, all of those stolen bases came on this hot streak that Dos Santos has been on of late. Got 3 hits in the game against the Welland Jackfish and then just never looked back since.
Not sure if you noticed, Veselinovic, he went straight to home plate, but he had Dos Santos hopping back to first. So it's an interesting as they try to get the read down of this lefty.
Well, with 2 outs and a guy like Geraldo at the plate, maybe he holds his ground. No, he doesn't. He's on the move, and Geraldo hits it hard. This one's down in left field. Dos Santos is going to hold up at second base. Thought about making the turn, but the Royals keep the line moving here again with 2 outs against Veselinovic.
Would have been a tough play. The ball hit directly in front of J.J. Dutton out there in left field.
2 former teammates chatting it up out there at second base. Spencer Ross and Ryan Dos Santos. Now here's Victor Mascai for his second at-bat. This guy also spent some time outside of the World Baseball Classic time that was so exciting this year. Also spent time in the Houston Astros system. The 0-1 pitch, that one misses. Highest level he played was with the Fayetteville Woodpeckers back in the 21 and 22 season. The 1-1. Swung on and missed, strike 2.
One thing Veselinovic will do is he'll fill up the strike zone. Doesn't walk a lot of batters. Only 3 walks, now 4 after the one to Dos Santos on the season. He's going to go right after these hitters, and he's not afraid to fill up that zone.
A 1-2 pitch, fouled off. This guy just got a piece of it.
If you're Veselinovic, you want this guy right here. Takamatsu waiting on deck. He was the one that did all the damage back in the first inning.
Another 1-2 pitch. Just outside. Count level at 2-2 now. This guy 0 for 1 struck out last time he was at the plate against Veselinovic. This guy is an import player on this Guelph Royal team. They're expecting big things from the Brazilian. That one, strike 3 called on the outside corner. Veselinovic punches his man out with 2 on base and holds Guelph scoreless in the second. We'll head to the bottom half coming up. Well, welcome back to Toronto. Thomas West here alongside Zach Benoit. It is a beautiful evening for baseball here at the pits. J.J. Dutton leading things off here against Edgar Garcia, who, as we mentioned before, is tasked with going deep into this game. Not a lot of options out of the bullpen for Guelph. And scoring to bunt on the first pitch is J.J. Dutton. He takes a strike.
Garcia did a really good job in the first inning, limiting the damage. You know, the only blunder on the resume was the Yasiel Puig solo shot. Other than that, it was pretty easy work.
Dutton hits one hard on the ground, up the middle for a base hit. And J.J. Dutton is aboard with a leadoff single.
It's nice to see Dutton back in the lineup for the Maple Leafs. Remember him a couple of years ago just making those impacts and just always kind of being that spark plug kind of player.
J.J. Dutton came into this game 2 for 9. He's played a couple of games. He's a recent addition to this Maple Leafs team. And now here's Matt Brandt, who's been swinging a red-hot bat for the Maple Leafs as well. Had a couple of hits, including a big home run last time out against the Welland Jackfish. Fouls the first pitch off the Maple Leafs dugout.
I think he fouled that off of a player.
Yeah, that hit somebody in the Leafs dugout. Well, whoever it was has now moved into the dugout.
Don't blame him.
There's the 0-1. J.J. Dutton was creating havoc over there at first base as Ward gave him a look. The pitch was called a strike, so now it's 0-2 here on the Leafs catcher. Fakes like he's going to go. Pitch delivered high. J.J. Dutton is speedy over there at first base. I'm not sure if he's just trying to distract the pitcher or maybe he just didn't like his jump. Garcia, he's quick to the plate. He slide-stepped there on him.
I've been trying to figure out who that hit in front of the Leafs dugout. I believe that was Luis Florentino.
Here's a ground ball up the middle for a base hit. 2 singles for the Maple Leafs to lead off the second. This time it's Matt Brandt.
You mentioned he's swinging a red-hot bat, and he continues it right here. Another really good piece of swinging there by Matt Brandt.
Well, if that was Luis Florentino in the dugout, welcome to the Maple Leafs. He just got here. He was a big player for the team last year, one of the Maple Leafs imports.
He's now in behind the fence.
It's a good spot for him.
I think the ball boy tried giving him his helmet. I'm pretty sure I just saw that.
Now it's Jordan Mandalay scoring to bunt on the first pitch, but I don't think he ever had an intention of doing that. Pulls the bat back, takes a strike from Garcia. 2 singles to start the inning for the Maple Leafs. Mandalay has been slapping the ball around the field as well for the Leafs as of late. And he slaps this one in the outfield for a base hit. J.J. Dutton's getting the wave home, and it gets by the Guelph Royals outfielder. And another run coming to the plate. Matt Brandt will score. It's an error on the play, but an RBI single for Jordan Mandalay. And the Leafs have taken the lead.
That was Marcos Castillo out there in right, and it looked like he tried to play on the hop, and it just bounced awkwardly past his glove all the way to the wall, allowing the second run to score and Mandalay to take second base. But how about the hitting from the bottom half of the Leafs order here? Just 3 straight singles, 1 leading to the RBI.
Now Spencer Ross comes up, and sure, you could say that the Maple Leafs maybe would have scored that run anyway if they had just, put the ball in play, but this really changes the complexion of this inning because now there's a runner in scoring position, and another one is dished into the outfield by Spencer Ross. Runner being held at third base. The throw home is right on line, and Ross keeps it moving. That's Jordan Mandalay who got the stop sign there at third, and man, this approach from the Maple Leafs. So, Zach, in the first inning, we saw them taking a lot of pitches. They struck out looking a lot. Actually, all 3 strikeouts they had were strikeouts looking. Now, Edgar Garcia has proven that he's going to throw strikes, and the Maple Leafs are swinging.
Yeah, everything has been in the zone. He's thrown 19 strikes to 6 balls so far, 25 pitches total, and it's just been really good work by the bottom half of this Maple Leafs unit.
Talked to Spencer Ross the other day about playing with Jordan Mandalay. He's his double play tandem, and just so crazy the different places that these players come from. Mandalay, the Cuban player that's played all over the world, and Spencer Ross, who plays with the UFT Varsity Blues. And, we talked a little bit about playing with him, and, both of them bring something different to the team, but then you look at what they just did, and they both had the exact same approach at the plate. Just slap the ball the other way. know that Edgar Garcia is going to throw you a pitch on the outer half. 2-0 here to the first baseman, Cooper Tompkinson. Now it's 3-0.
Well, we saw the same approach really through the 5 to 8 hitters. It's just, shorten your swing up, make contact, let Garcia do all the work with how fast and how hard he throws. Just put the bat to the ball and let Lady Luck have its way.
Here's the 3-0 pitch, right down the middle for a strike. The Maple Leafs are starting to make Garcia work, and rarely do you see him fall behind 3-0. Runner goes. Pitch a strike. It's a stolen base for Spencer Ross.
Count runs full now where Tompkinson, he has to kind of regather his thoughts here.
Maple Leafs trying to add on here. 2 in scoring position. Full count on Tompkinson. And this one slashed into the outfield. Another opposite field base hit for the Maple Leafs. It'll score another run, and they lead 4-1.
Really, it's been a lineup-wide approach of just make contact. Just swing the bat. Doesn't have to be anything hard. Push the ball the other way. This is just a picture-perfect approach against Edgar Garcia.
Boy, the Maple Leafs they're not pulling the ball. They're not hitting it particularly hard. But boy, have they ever had a smart approach in this inning. Very different from what we saw in the first inning, and have the Maple Leafs figured out a game plan here against Edgar Garcia here in the second.
This is the best that the lineup has really looked all season. It's just everybody just has that consistent approach, and they're staying with the game plan. Nobody's trying to play the hero ball where it's have that big swing. Everybody just keep passing the torch down the line, and that's what's generated all these runs so far.
31 pitches for Edgar Garcia. Give him credit. He has to throw strikes. He's forced to throw strikes here in this outing against the Maple Leafs. He doesn't have the luxury of getting deep into counts. But 31 pitches with nobody out in the second was not the plan for Guelph today. Here's the leadoff hitter, Matt Fabian. Takes inside, ball 1.
I think the scary thing here is just you have no outs, 2 runners on, and you're back to the top of the order. And that's the most dangerous part of the Leafs lineup.
1-0 pitch is cut through by Fabian. Any similarities to the last time Edgar Garcia was on the mound in that 3-inning appearance?
This is kind of the exact same thing that I saw last time out, where it's just he's filling up the strike zone, he's doing his job. It's just the batters are putting good swings on the ball.
1-1 pitch in the dirt. Two and 1. Maple Leafs were swinging early on in the count when Garcia was attacking the strike zone. Now he's dancing around the edges a bit, and the Leafs a little bit more patient. Fabian takes low, 3-1.
Well, you've put all the pressure now onto Garcia. Before, he had the plan of just attack the hitters, they're being patient, go right after them. The Maple Leafs, they switch up their approach. They start jumping on pitches early in the count. Now you have to kind of go back to the approach of just trying to get calls in the corner.
Runner goes. This one's hit in the air by Matt Fabian, deep to left, and it's gone! 3-run home run for Matt Fabian, his first as a Maple Leaf. And Toronto has broken it open in the second.
Matt Fabian, he was out in front of that off-speed pitch, but he stayed back on it long enough, and he puts a great swing on the ball. We were talking about it in his last at-bat. He has such good bat-to-ball skills, and he put it on display right there.
Wow. 7 runs through 1 inning plus against Edgar Garcia and the Guelph Royals. Did you have that on your bingo card today?
Did not expect the 7 spot here.
6 runs in the inning. A 3-run shot by Fabian. Now Marcus Connect will take the first pitch for a ball. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and Connect takes low, and Edgar Garcia's got to find a way to get out of this inning, because pulling him right now is just not an option. But Zach, you know, pitch count is one thing, but pitch count in 1 inning is also something to keep note of. He's approaching the 24 pitches here this inning. Connect pops this one up. Looks like he's going to get an out here, and it's caught at shortstop. It was not the cleanest of plays from Davis Nadal, but eventually he was able to make the play.
Well, this is the interesting part. Because Nadal has been playing all over the field, you don't really gain the chemistry with your corner infielder at third base, Kyle Cush, because you've been in right field, you've been short, you've been playing all over. So, you know, Cush initially calls it, and then Nadal calls it, and they both kind of look at each other for that split second and say, well, who's going to catch it? Nadal just takes over.
Yasiel Puig homered in his last at-bat. He must be sitting here thinking that maybe he has Garcia on the ropes, needing to pound the strike zone. Garcia was very careful to Yasiel Puig in his last at-bat and then threw one in the strike zone, and Puig demolished it out to left center. Big swing on this one. It's grounded to Nadal. He boots it, and Puig will reach. Well, it's been a precarious inning for Davis Nadal. Fell backwards on the pop-up, and then this time just couldn't corral the slow roller.
Anything and everything that can go wrong for the Royals in this inning kind of just has. Where you get a good swing on the ball if you're Edgar Garcia, saying got Puig jammed. It's a little dribbler, but he's still able to reach.
Well, they're going to call it an infield single for Yasiel Puig, but the Guelph Royals will probably see that as a play that they would prefer to be made. Yasiel Puig put such a mighty swing on that ball. I wonder if maybe there was some top spin as it went out to shortstop. 1 out in the inning. Dennis DeBanning at the plate, and DeBanning swings through that one. He was late on that pitch from Garcia. Dennis DeBanning, I was talking to him before the game, and reiterated the calm approach that he has at the plate. Never wants to get too high or too low. Just wants to stay in a flow state at the plate. This time he swings and misses, and that's strike 3. So Garcia gets the punch out, and there's 2 away.
Well, the Leafs bat around here in this inning. J.J. Dutton, who led things off and had a really great at-bat, does a really good job just to get on base, score, and he's back up here now.
Great shot there of Garcia, just kind of wiping some of the perspiration away from his brow. This has been a long inning.
And again, there's really nothing that you can do. If you're Garcia, you're just trying to go out there and give as many innings as you can. It is a short bullpen for the Guelph Royals tonight. They don't have a lot of arms. They need Garcia to give them some length here in this ballgame.
29th pitch of the inning is hit well to center field by J.J. Dutton, and that one's going to be caught a couple feet in front of the wall by Andy Leader for out number 3. The Maple Leafs put up a 6 spot on 29 pitches thrown by Edgar Garcia in the second and lead 7-1.
Everyone dreams of being great. Only a select few can be iconic. But only one is chosen. Introducing the Chosen One from Rawlings. The all-new one-piece composite iteration of the top-rated and established Icon BB-Core bat.
Well, back here at Dominico Field, bidding big inning for the Maple Leafs. 7-1 Toronto. They scored 6 in the second. So the Royals have their work cut out for them with lots of game to go against Veselinovic, but Zach, this kind of simplifies the approach for Veselinovic now, does it not?
Yeah, you just attack the hitters. I think his game plan initially was to continue to fill up the zone, but now you can kind of just be a little bit more aggressive, and he's probably loving it. For the side of the Guelph Royals, you want to have a lengthy inning. You want to give Edgar Garcia some time to, regroup and get a little bit of a break. It was a lengthy half.
Well, Garrett Takamatsu felt that one, and the home plate umpire agrees that did hit him on the foot, just grazed him on the way through, so he'll head down to first base, and Guelph Royals need base runners. They've got one here in the top of the third.
Don't worry, if the umpire missed it, they had some fan intent. Somebody down there yelling, "That hit him!" right away, making sure the umpire also heard that.
Shortstop number 2, Davis Nadal.
Hillside starting to fill in nicely here. Christy Pitts, lots of locals from the area coming out to watch some free baseball on a beautiful Wednesday night.
Yeah, this week has been tremendous for baseball after having the one weekend washed away by Mother Nature.
Right. This is a makeup game that we're playing today. Supposed to be a couple Sundays ago. Yeah, that day was some of the most rain I've ever seen in Toronto. And the pits was pretty much a lake, so no chance to play baseball. It didn't even really rain much the day of the game, but
the day before, Saturday.
Yeah.
Was when the majority of the rain came down.
Here's the 1-1. Way back in the day, Christy Pitts used to be a gravel pit, so underneath the field is just a whole bunch of gravel, which, as you know, there's a lot of place for water to go with all of that, so it really, really helps the field kind of absorb all that water.
What was the famous quote that you've always used?
Yeah, well, so Dan Mara, former Maple Leaf second baseman, he would always talk about how the field eats water, which I just think is a really good analogy because it kind of does. That water just sits in the gravel that's a couple feet below the surface. There's a swing and a miss. Veselinovic gets the strikeout of Nadal.
Again, we saw 3 big swings right there from Nadal, and that's just kind of the approach he has. It's all or nothing, really. Not afraid to get his full swing off.
So here comes Andy Leader, the former Canisius Golden Griffin, and he lines one to center. On his horses, DeBanning, he dives, and he can't get it. It one-hops the wall. DeBanning will get up and get it in quickly, and the Royals have 2 on, second and third, with 1 out in the inning.
That's just one of those hits where it just kind of continued to rise and rise. DeBanning initially looked like the drop step. He was going to catch it no problem, but that ball just kept kind of sailing towards the wall. Last second had to dive and just couldn't get to it.
Garrett Takamatsu is laboring a little bit at third base. He has a smile on his face, so I don't think it's an injury. I think he just didn't feel like running.
Well, he also did get hit in the leg.
Right. All right. Castillo pops one up. Tompkinson over, makes the catch. That's a nice play, and he'll throw home right on the money, too, just in case the unwilling Garrett Takamatsu was going to tag up and come home.
You're going to get a message after this spin. He's going to tell you he was willing. He's going to tell you.
Yeah, I went and chatted with Garrett Takamatsu before the game. It's always great to talk to him. One of the good guys in the Canadian Baseball League for sure.
I'll always remember the one piece that you did for recording for media, and you said, "Hey, can you come early just to guard me while I mic up Garrett and have him walking around the infield?"
Oh yeah.
BP.
Yeah. So yeah, we used to do mic'd up segments, and Garrett Takamatsu was a participant of that one time, and he was a lot of fun. Went around and interviewed some of his teammates, which I didn't even ask him to do. It was just some good content as well. Ward takes outside. Veselinovic evens the count at 1-1. Yeah, and what you were talking about there, I was standing on the field, so I needed someone with a glove to just make sure I didn't get hit. Here's the 1-1. Speaking of getting hit, I have noticed that with Yasiel Puig, he comes out and takes batting practice before every game, and pretty much every ball he hits is gone. Like, I'm not even kidding. He hits every single ball over the wall. And when Puig's at the plate, you got to just, like, hug the fence line. I'm out there, you know, setting up the camera or chatting with someone. Like, you got to keep your head on a swivel. This one's rocketed into the outfield by Ward. That's down for a base hit. It's going to score a pair. Matt Ward, an RBI single, scores Takamatsu and leader, and it's 7-3.
And again, Ward has just been putting together really good at-bats there. Finally, something kind of goes his way. He's able to cash in, too. But that's also a big job because you're helping your battery mate. You're extending this inning. You're giving Garcia more time to rest, more time to kind of, you know, get settled back down. And it's just a really good swing by Ward. Today's batting practice was quite interesting, though. We noticed something right away.
You noticed it, maybe.
Who was throwing batting practice?
Oh, yeah. You want to tell that story?
Yeah. So, you know, walking to the pits here, I got here a little bit earlier than usual, and I look at in the dugout, and I was like, who's the woman in the dugout? Goes out, sets up the L screen, starts throwing, and I'm like, who is that?
Yeah.
I get up here, and you're kind of just chuckling to yourself, and you say to me, see that Pop's wife is throwing BP today? And
yeah,
she was throwing it, too. It wasn't like it was soft.
Yeah, so that's Jana, Kyle Pop's wife, who famously taught him how to hit last season. And apparently this is something that she's done before. When he was playing out in Australia, she would throw BP for the team as well. So I said to Kyle before the game, if the Maple Leafs win today or they hit really well, that's going to have to be a theme. As that strike 3 called on the outside corner, and Veselinovic does a good job to escape any further damage as he strikes out Kush. We'll be back in half an inning. Well, Luis Florentino has arrived for the Maple Leafs. Zach, we saw he was such a big part of this team when the Maple Leafs took on the Barrie Baycats, and boy, they were so close to winning that series against Barrie as well. They couldn't have done it without Luis Florentino. He is going to play a monster role in this Maple Leafs team and some much-needed help for the pitching.
Yeah, and it was interesting when he first initially came over. They were trying to push him as a starter. They wanted him to get the innings. Something just wasn't clicking. Moved to the bullpen, and he looked like a completely different guy. He just looked so good. You mentioned against Barrie how impactful he was, and his welcome back moment was getting a foul line drive right off of him.
Right.
Getting back here to Christy Pitts, but you know, adding his arm into the bullpen, it's just going to lengthen out the pitching staff so much more. He's so talented and still a very young player as well.
Last year, Leafs catcher Justin Mara described him as having a heavy fastball on the mound for the Maple Leafs. And he can get it up there in the mid-90s, so it's a big arm for Toronto. 7-3 Leafs here in the bottom of the third. This game far from over. Toronto would love to tack on some more. They did get 6 last inning. Strike taken there by Matt Brandt.
If you're Toronto, you want to just kind of continue to work against Edgar Garcia, but if you're Garcia here, get a quick inning. You want to get back into a rhythm of things.
The 0-1 pitch in the dirt.
I think the most interesting thing for me was, you know, he threw all those pitches back in the second. His pitch count is still, coming into this, was sitting at 32.
Yeah, that's a mistake on the card, though.
Well,
it should be about 50 right now. I'm sure they'll get that sorted out. So you had almost 30 last inning. Here's the 2-1 pitch that's fouled off. I am seeing what you're seeing as well, but for the people at home, it's about 50 because he had 29 last inning and he had 16 in the first. I don't know what the math is on that, but it's up there, right?
45?
I don't know.
45?
Oh yeah, that sounds exactly right actually. This one's popped up on the infield by Matt Brandt. Garcia's going to call his shot, and he catches the baseball. Not every day you see the pitcher catch the pop-up, but it was a very shallow pop-up, so it was out of necessity, and there's one away.
Very adamant about it, too. Heard the call that he had all the way up here, saying, I got it.
We saw the pop-up last inning, too. That was a bit of an adventure as well, so Garcia, I guess, just thinking, let me make sure this ball gets caught. He's in perfect position to catch it. Here's Jordan Mandalay, who slapped a ball the other way last time up. This time he pulls it foul off to the left. That one bounced so high, it took one hop over the screen above the Maple Leafs dugout.
Again, the hitters 5 through 9, it was 4 straight singles the opposite way. They did a really good job of just continuing to just move the torch down the line, and Mandalay played a good factor in that as well.
Here's the 0-1. Mandalay pulls it again.
Heads up to all the people working social media down there, had to get out of the way.
Mandalay's single last time up plated a run for the Maple Leafs. Here's the 0-2. Mandalay smashes one in the air to center field. Andy Leader over to make the running catch. Boy, that's a good play. That ball was tailing away from him, and Mandalay is retired.
Yeah, did a good job just staying with it, was Andy Leader, because again, it's always so tough when it comes to a righty hitting a ball like that, because it's just going to have that natural tail right off of the bat. Leader just did a really good job, read it perfectly. First step was to his left, drop step it was, and he was just there within plenty of time.
Yeah, the jump, he was already in full stride when we saw him come into the frame there. So here's Spencer Ross, who did pretty much the same thing Mandalay did in his last at-bat, where he hit one the other way. Now a line drive. He pulled it into the outfield. That's a single for Spencer Ross with 2 away.
It was a conversation me and you were having a couple games ago where it's saying the jump of an outfielder, it makes it so different on certain balls that are hit, and right there we saw it in full display.
Spencer Ross is hitting the ball well right now, man. He's taking it the other way. He's pulling the baseball. Edgar Garcia's got to be thinking on the mound, I pitch him inside, he pulls it for a single. I pitch him away, he slaps into the outfield for a base hit.
That was kind of always the forte of Ross, though. When he came to the team, it was just the ability to make contact.
Tompkinson, a bouncer up the middle, throw to first in time. That will end the inning. Good play by Nadal to come across and cut it off. The Maple Leafs do not score in the third. It's a 4-run ball game here at Dominico Field between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Guelph Royals.
Guys, over there.
Veselinovic out for his 4th inning of work, facing Ryan Dos Santos for the 3rd time. Dos Santos is 0 for 1 with a walk. Miguel Geraldo is on deck. This is the 1-2-3 in the Guelph order. Dos Santos bunts right through that one for strike 1.
So last night, this was the time through the order that the Royals started getting the offense going. The 3rd time through, it was in the 5th inning, this time in the 4th. But it was really what got the ball rolling and everybody started swinging and hitting. Hitting is contagious, they say, and it really was last night against the Cardinals.
If I can extend that further, this was the part of the order as well. 8 of the 9 hits that they had last night came from 1, 2, 3, 4. The one in the 4 spot was Takamatsu, and he had 1 hit, so it was really 1, 2, 3 in the order.
It's been a nice punch, 1-2 punch of Dos Santos and Geraldo.
The 2-2 pitch misses low to Dos Santos, and he's worked the count full. 2 home runs in this game, 1 from Matt Fabian, 1 from Yasiel Puig. Fabian's was the big blow, a 3-run shot, which is looming large right now. The 3-2 pitch, check swing, did he go? He did not, and Dos Santos has his 2nd walk of the ball game.
Again, a guy who has been so strong swinging the bat to start the year. This time today comes back to the old stomping grounds, and what does he do? Returns back to walking.
Maybe it's this park.
maybe it's just something about Christie where he likes to just take a base.
Now here's the 2-hitter in Geraldo. High chopper to 3rd. Foul ball. Matt Fabian was counting on that as he didn't come up throwing there. He had a good look at it, obviously. Got to be careful here. I mean, this is a 4-run. Things were looking really out of reach when it was 7-1. Then Guelph right away tacked on 2 more. That's what you got to do. And, I mean, this game is not even close to being over. The only thing is that Guelph doesn't have a lot behind Edgar Garcia today. That's the one thing that the Leafs do have going for them right now, aside from the score. Is it slash filed by Geraldo. Kyle Pops warming up in the bullpen for the Maple Leafs.
The mindset for the Royals last night when they were down 5-0 was just no stress whatsoever. They know how good of an offensive unit they have, and once things start to get clicking, they're going to be feeling good.
The 0-2 pitch. Leaning back was Geraldo, and he took it just inside. Veselinovic looks in. Here's the 1-2. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Another punch out for Nick Veselinovic. Geraldo didn't like it.
7th K matches his season high that he's had. And this is just the job that he does. He just continues to fill up the strike zone. It's a really strong resume for Nick Veselinovic.
Now here's Victor Mascai, struck out both times. Dos Santos goes, Mascai hits one well. Marcus Connect over, and it's off the wall, and he may have deked the runner, Ryan Dos Santos, pretending like he was going to catch that baseball, and it'll end up being a single.
That was just one of those plays where it's a veteran in Connect out there. He understands it. He plays it perfectly, too. He goes all the way back to the wall. He knows right off the bat that this is hitting off the wall.
Hey, I got it.
He put the glove up, and he let it hit the wall first. That's just such smart baseball.
Wow. That's a heads-up play by Connect. I mean, if that was a double, it's either the run scores or, there's 2 in scoring position. Now this one goes to the backstop, and it won't matter. Both runners will move up. Although you could say it does matter because that would have scored a run.
Yeah, a little bit of a gift there for the Royals, and they'll take it.
But, I mean, after that happened, if Veselinovic gets out of this inning scoreless, that's the reason.
They're going to intentionally walk Takamatsu here, and don't blame him with what he's already done in this ball game, a lacing line drive for a double, and that's just going to load the bases.
Yeah, but careful though. This is Davis Nadal. He has some real pop and represents the tying run. It does feel like Takamatsu against a lefty is kind of an auto base hit in these scenarios, but right now things getting a bit dicey here for the Maple Leafs as they, well, I guess they're rolling the dice that they can get Davis Nadal here. Here's the first pitch, low in the dirt. I guess the other thing that comes to mind is it means that there's nowhere to put Nadal, so Veselinovic has to stay in the strike zone. Much better matchup though, lefty-lefty.
Better matchup, and you have a force anywhere now.
And this one's hit on the ground. Ross has it, flips to second, Mandalay on to first. Picked, and they got him. The Maple Leafs roll the dice, and it pays off. The double play turned by the Maple Leafs infield. It was tailor-made. A perfect pitch by Veselinovic. The exact result they wanted off the bat of Davis Nadal. And, Zach, they played that to perfection.
That's exactly what you wanted, and you mentioned how big of a play Marcus Connect made in right field. That's even bigger now because, again, with the wild pitch, possibly could have been a run on the board. No run scores.
We'll take a short break and be right back. Matt Fabian swings out the first pitch, high chopper, and out-recorded at first base.
Cal Kush did a good job waiting for that big bounce to get down, and he walks right into it as well, which is the big thing, where you just allow yourself to just take it on the bounce, and you have momentum going to first base.
Yeah, Kyle Kush really had to hurry there. Matt Fabian was getting down the line in a hurry. That's what Garcia needs, right? Quick outs. Now it's Marcus Connect. Did he take less time to warm up there between innings?
Like
That was quick.
Very quick half inning.
Here's Connect, who takes a strike.
Mention again how big of a play Marcus Connect made, but it's big in the longevity of the game because this could be a very different score. It could be 7-4 right now for Guelph because of the pass ball that happens, but you didn't have runner in a position to score. And those are just kind of those veteran leadership things that Connect brings to a team.
Certainly is one of the leadership guys on this Maple Leafs team. Been a Leaf since 2018. The 1-1 on the ground. Foul, just foul at third base.
The big identity for the Maple Leafs the last couple of years was just how close-knit all the players were because of how long the tenure for a majority of them was. It was a very tight-knit family. Now, a lot of those players no longer with the team. Marcus Connect, one of the few that are still here, and you're just trying to rebuild that culture in that clubhouse.
The 1-2. Connect takes low. Marcus Connect is off to a good start this year, batting .304 on the young season. Yasiel Puig, who's behind him, He's 2 for 2 today. He's raised that batting average by 73 points over the last 2 ABs. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Edgar Garcia climbs the ladder on Marcus Connect.
Yeah, you mentioned what Puig's done today, the home run, and then he's reached both times. The last time it was the fielding error by Davis Nadal.
Yasiel Puig in the DH spot today for the Maple Leafs. Should mention, I mean, his defense has been maybe his most valuable attribute this year for Toronto. Has been excellent out there in left field. And Puig smashes one up the middle for a base hit. Yasiel Puig is 3 for 3.
If you're the Maple Leafs, you got to watch out where that baseball is on the diamond, especially with what happened last night.
You don't see singles hit hard like that very often. I mean, he just has so much power. Even when he hits the ball a little bit, it's still above average exit velo in this league. Two outs in the inning. Dennis DeBanning, who has tremendous power for the Maple Leafs, and he smashes this one into the outfield on a line, and the catch is made just barely out there in left field by Victor Mascai, as that ball might have been rising on him just a little bit. 7-3. Yeah, Christy Pitts. We'll be right back. Well, the afternoon, or evening, I guess I should say, for Veselinovic is over. Kyle pops into the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs as he looks to bridge the gap to the end of this game for Toronto.
Yeah, and Veselinovic, he pitched very, very well here for the Toronto Maple Leafs. His line ends 4 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, and 7 strikeouts. He was filling up the zone yet again. He continues to show dominance with the strikeout stuff, but the hits were a little bit up this time. That was kind of the only blemish on his resume here today.
Well, Kyle Pop's a two-way player, but he is pitcher first, has pitched 3 2/3 innings this season for the Maple Leafs, has an ERA of 7.36, very small sample size. The one thing he does have going for him, he has struck out 6 batters over those 3 2/3, and a whip just over 1.
When we caught up with Pops just before the end of the BP and everything, he was walking back to the clubhouse. We were talking to him about how his wife was throwing BP, and he was just so excited.
Line drive to leader. That's out number 1 quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Maple Leafs put up 7 runs. They had a 6-run inning, the most they've scored in an inning this year. I mean, I think Jana's got to come out and throw more BP for this Maple Leafs team.
Yeah, congratulations. You're the BP coach now.
Yeah.
You're here every game.
There's a first pitch strike.
The interesting part to me about the BP that she was tossing was, again, it wasn't just soft, let the guys hit, get into a rhythm. It was firing in. And
She throws hard,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. It wasn't.
Maybe her and
like live game.
Maybe her and Rob Butler can platoon based on whether it's a righty or lefty on the mound, because Butler throws BP and he comes from the left side a lot. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Castillo, and he pops it foul right behind home plate. Just got a piece of that pitch from Pops. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Kyle Pops gets the punch out, and there's 2 away.
Pops looking good here. Quickly 2 outs, and again, you want to put as much pressure as you can on the Royals pitching staff, who are short-handed. You got to have Garcia with short rest. Pops gets down the mound as well. Very tall individual.
Yeah,
but
he is 6'6" on the mound.
he gets down the mound. It's a very tall mound, too. That's always a big thing.
The 1-out award is fouled off. Big Velo trying to get through a scoreless inning here. He's got the first 2 batters in order. The 1-1. Outside ball 2, 2-1. Kyle Pops was playing in the Hatcher State League before he came to the Maple Leafs. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That one just missed. 3-1 now. He was playing out in Australia there, had a 3.68 ERA and a 3.60 batting average for the team, so truly a valuable two-way player. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Breaking ball on the 3-1 pitch. Found the zone, full count.
How about having that confidence there? What a job done.
Full count pitch. Got to go after Ward here. And it's upstairs, ball 4. And Ward will reach with 2 away in the inning.
Matthew Ward, just again, another strong at-bat. Keeping the good approach going, where you just kind of continue to let the pitcher work against you. You see so much of the arsenal, and you sit one pitch that you like.
Line drive off the glove of Pops. Tries to find it. Got it. Flips it over to first. Beautiful play by Kyle Pops to help himself get out of the inning. Allows the 1 base runner on the walk. Gets a little help from his defense, including himself. 7-3 lead for Toronto here at the Pits.
Back on the mound, Edgar Garcia, who is working through this game again. It's a short bullpen out there for the Royals. If you're looking at the CBL website, it says he's at 50. He's actually at 64, so it's just 14 pitches off. Trying to work through this ball game. It's been a tough go of things, especially in that big second inning. The last couple, they've been a lot better for Garcia. He'll have Dutton, Brandt, and Mandalay due up here in the inning. J.J. Dutton has put together multiple good at-bats here. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Had 2 at-bats in the same inning. Singled earlier to lead off the inning and flew out to center field to end the inning. Ahead of the count here, 2-0. Check swing, and doesn't matter. Called strike 2, or strike 1, excuse me. The trend that we saw Garcia with in his last game out, it's continued here as this is a line shot into the right center gap, down for extra bases. Dutton, he has speed and he's into second standing up. So it's a leadoff double for J.J. Dutton, who continues just to hit the ball hard since returning back to the Maple Leafs. The part of the lineup that got the rally going was the 5 through 9 hitters back in the second, and again it was J.J. Dutton that got the party started, this time pulling the ball. Matt Brandt, 1 for 2 on the day, comes up for his 3rd plate appearance. Thomas got a chance to talk with Brandt before the game, and he's just been on a red-hot streak as of late. Also mentioned how cool it was to have Yasiel Puig throw out a runner to Brandt. Listened in on the interview, and I think the favorite thing I heard, he said it felt like everything was moving in slow motion, and went back and watched the play, and it happened within seconds. Dutton dancing out there at second. We saw this earlier in the ballgame as well at first, as he continues to try to time up Garcia, as this is shot down the left field side, foul. One-on-one count here to the Maple Leafs backstop. Garcia with the delivery. Inside, catches the corner though for strike 2. So far on the day, Garcia's gave up 11 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned. Struck out 5. He's been filling up the zone. He's been doing exactly what he needed to do. Low inside for a ball, even up 2-2. Pitch count just approaching 70 now, sitting at 69. Jordan Mandalay waiting on deck. He's 1 for 2 on the day, scored and has an RBI. Here's the 2-2 from Garcia, chopped on. Nadal takes on the high hop, throw to first is going to be in time. Dutton will advance on the play. Plays like that we've seen out of Davis Nadal. He's been put all over the diamond. He's played shortstop, he's played in the outfield. And last night he put on a display, a couple phenomenal throws from right field. He gunned out 1 runner. Now with the runner at third and Dutton, infield will play in. Mandalay, we've mentioned his fantastic bat-to-ball skills. This is a perfect spot for him to display that. Taking the first pitch all the way. Garcia comes set. Delivery inside, catches the corner for strike 1. J.J. Dutton continues just to try to be a distraction out there to Garcia. Thought it was him trying to time up earlier in the game. He's done it at every base so far where he's just trying to be a distraction there in the corner of the eye. Cued to third base. Cush takes it. The throw to first in time for the out. Dutton can't go anywhere, so Edgar Garcia gets the out he needed. 2 outs in the inning. The infield will back up and just take the play to first. And I'll bring up Spencer Ross, who continues to be red hot at the plate. 2 for 2 on the day so far, both singles. But as Thomas mentioned earlier, he poked one opposite in his first at-bat, then the second one pulls over the head of the shortstop. Been a very productive bat at the bottom half of the batting order for this Maple Leaf squad. He'll watch strike one go by there. Hitting started off with the J.J. Dutton double. And then Garcia has settled and gotten the next 2 on soft contact ground balls. And Ross quickly in the hole here, 0-2. Outside of that big second inning, it's been pretty quiet work from this Maple Leafs team. They've gotten a runner on in each of the 3 last innings, but they haven't been able to do much. Edgar Garcia settling down to exactly what the Guelph Royals needed, and he's going to get another one out here. Gets Spencer Ross looking. So the leadoff double doesn't come back to bite the Royals. They'll head to the top half of the 6th, trying to get this lead cut down. You're watching Toronto Maple Leafs baseball.
Get ready, Chatham Kents. For the first time ever in the new Canadian Baseball League era, the 2026 All-Star Showdown is landing at Fergie Jenkins Field on the July 11th and 12th weekend. The league's top talent, all in one place. Watch the full slate of skills competitions, including the popular Home Run Derby on Saturday, and on Sunday, the ultimate 2026 CBL All-Star Game featuring your favorite players for a mid-season showdown. Chatham Kent, it's our time. The All-Star Weekend of the new CBL era. It's history in the making.
Oh, back here at Christie Pitts, lots of acquisitions starting to arrive for the Toronto Maple Leafs. We knew that Ronaldo De Paula was in the works, and he has now arrived. I just made a trip down to center field, saw him hanging out in the bullpen. Another big arm for the Maple Leafs to help that rotation, or maybe the bullpen. We'll see how they deploy him.
Yeah, perfect source to say that who's here. You, quite literally you, taking that run to center field. But this is exactly what the Maple Leafs need, the pitching depth, and having DePaula finally here, and I'm sure he'll be utilized in a game sooner rather than later.
Yeah, he was in the LA Dodgers organization for actually a good chunk of time, 6 years, made it up to AA ball. Ryan Dos Santos leading things off, takes a first pitch low. A name that you may remember that he played with when he was playing AA baseball in the LA organization, this is DePaula, was Braden Fisher, who's on the Toronto Blue Jays now.
The Fish.
Yeah. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Dos Santos hits it on the ground, diving stop, throw to first by Mandalay, not in time. The speed of Ryan Dos Santos was just too much. Mandalay made a fantastic play at short.
Yeah, the sliding grab to the opposite side, and you just have no momentum to the throw. It's just pure arm strength. But with Dos Santos hustling out of the box, it's just he's able to beat it out with his own speed. You see it right there.
He smelled a single right away.
Second baseman number 15, Miguel.
So Ryan Dos Santos gets an infield base hit. Geraldo at the dish. This Guelph order has worked out well. For the third time, they're coming up 1-2-3 to start an inning. And here's the first pitch from Pops to Geraldo. Geraldo pops it up. Spencer Ross calling for it. He has it. Throw it back to first. And not in time. No one was covering first base, so Dos Santos straight off the bag a little bit. Didn't end up mattering in the end. That's a big out there for the Maple Leafs.
Something that we've noticed so far for Miguel Geraldo, he swung first pitch in each one of his at-bats. And it's worked out in the first two, and then the last two, he struck out looking, and he just pops it up there.
Victor Meskai demolishes this baseball high and deep to right field and way out of here. Well, he went oppo when he hit that big home run against the Americans in the World Baseball Classic. This time, he pulls the ball over the wall at Christie Pitts, and it's 7-5.
Well, Guelph was very excited to get him, and he wastes no time. First pitch swing in, finally not seeing a lefty. And you see the little league game going on in the field right behind. It hits the second baseman there, it looks like. Phenomenal power out of Meskai.
That is his first as a member of this Guelph Royal team in his first game, and that's going to chase Kyle Pops from the game. New pitcher coming in when we come back. So just to give you some context on the importance of this game tonight, Guelph Royals and Toronto Maple Leafs, two teams that didn't get off to the best of starts, and Guelph, who already has tacked 2 wins in a row together, Maple Leafs, who are looking for a spark. I mean, Toronto really needs this game. Guelph really wants it as well.
Yeah, Guelph has been playing better baseball as of late, again, riding a 2-game win streak. The Maple Leafs on a 5-game losing streak, but with the way the standings look right now, if Toronto wins, they would kind of jump Guelph for 8th spot. If Guelph wins, they jump, I believe, Chatham-Kent and Brantford. The Red Sox have only had 5 games played on the year, but they only have 2 wins as well. So Guelph trying to get closer to 500 to challenge the Panthers for a spot there, and the Leafs just trying to stay alive here after dropping 5 in a row.
Rolando Herminda will come into the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Pitched in the Mexican League a couple of years ago, a 27-year-old pitcher in his second appearance for Toronto. And the first batter he faces, pretty good Canadian Baseball League player in Garrett Takamatsu. Last time Hermida pitched, went an inning and a third, gave up a couple of earned runs, struck out 2. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and Tak takes it inside. That was an outing against the Barrie Baycats back on May 27th.
This is a really interesting at-bat for me because, again, Takamatsu, a guy who's just so strong against anybody he faces. And then you have Hermida, somebody who is trying to still make a name for himself working in this ball game.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. And occupies an import spot for the Maple Leafs as well. So they're hoping that he can be a nice piece to come out of probably roles just like this in the bullpen. High leverage, middle innings. Here's the 2-1. Takamatsu takes inside. If you remember back to that last outing, he actually got through the first couple of batters that he faced against Barrie pretty well, and then the power stroke for the Baycats started to come around a little bit. Here's the 3-1 pitch inside, ball 4. Takamatsu never took the bat off his shoulder, and he heads down with a 1-out walk. Well, the Maple Leafs have the bullpen advantage today, but they need some results. Guelph is inching their way back into this game. It was 7-1 in the second inning. And the Royals are right back in it.
Well, the aforementioned Apala warming up now in the bullpen as they look to try to get something going there on the pitching side. But the story of Guelph is they feel so confident in their offensive abilities. They're never worried about the deficit. They were down 5-0 against Hamilton Cardinals, and they came back to end up to win that one. And here, down 7-1, they brought it back within 2.
1-0 pitch. Finds the inside corner, 1-1. Hermida facing Davis Nadal. Big power in his bat. The 1-1 pitch. Nadal pops it foul off to the left. Davis Nadal played in the Pittsburgh Pirates system for a little while. Played with some interesting players when he was playing A baseball with the Bradenton Marauders. Guys like Jared Triolo, Henry Davis, Bubba Chandler. Hard thrower. All on that team. Also, most recently played in the Kansas City Royals system for a year. Was with the Quad City River Bandits. Here's the 1-2 to Nadal. And it's upstairs that counts 2-2. And a name that's been really making waves in Major League Baseball was on that Quad City team back in 2024 too, Jack Cantaleone. Here's the 2-2 pitch, fouled off again as Nadal continues to battle. Another guy who played at the World Baseball Classic as well for the Italians.
That was a fun team to watch, eh? Team Italy.
Here's the 2-2 from Hermida. It's on the ground to first, and it eats up Tompkinson. Took a wicked bounce and rolls all the way into the corner. Runners will hold at third and second. It's a double for Nadal on a wicked hop at first. And the tying run is at second base.
Well, we mentioned the Christie hops, and that was as big of one as you could ever see. Tompkinson looked like he was reading it, and then it just kind of took off once it hit that lip of the grass, and that's going to allow the Royals to be right back into this one with a tying run at second.
It kind of seemed like he was in front of it initially. You always want to try and get in front of the baseball, especially at Christie Pitts, but I think that took a bit of a turn to the right too when it bounced off the lip of the grass, and Leafs are in some trouble here in the 6th. Here's Andy Leader. Leader chops one on the ground. Runner holds. Fabian's throw to first. On the money. That's out number 2. Well done, Matt Fabian.
Fabian has been so sound and solid at third base. We saw him play a little bit of left field this season as well, but at third, he is so strong.
And a little bit of first, too. He's versatile. And boy, an important player on this team as well, defensively and offensively. Marcos Castillo. Line drive into the outfield for a base hit. This is going to tie the ball game as it rolls all the way to the fence. DeBanning picks it up. Castillo cruises into second base with a double.
Biggest hit of the season for Marcos Castillo. He finally is able to get kind of that monkey off his back and come up with a big-time hit for his squad, and that just evens things up at 7 apiece.
Well, that thing got all the way to the wall, hit it in a perfect spot, and hit it hard. Castillo with a couple of RBIs, scoring Nadal and Takamatsu. Tie ball game here at Christie Pitts. How about this? This is going to be a fascinating finish.
Good patient hitting there too. He waited for the ball to kind of get in more on him, and he just drives it right into that right center gap.
And this one gets away from the catcher, Brandt. Castillo to third. So we talked earlier about the broadcast and saw that great clip from the CBL Changeup podcast where Castillo was talking about how special it was going to be to play against Yasiel Puig for the first time. That had to be delayed until tonight because this game got rained out. Puig's 3 for 3. He's 2 for 4. Swing and a miss by Ward. Hermida gets a strike. Arguably the two more impactful players in this ball game is that duo.
Big time hits from both. Puig got the party started with that home run, and then the Jet able to get a bases clearing double.
2-1 pitch fouled off by Ward. Ward is the number 8 hitter. The number 9 hitter is Cush. He's on deck. Matt Ward's hitting .250 on the season. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and it's in the dirt, and that time Matt Brandt got down and blocked it. That's a big block from the Maple Leafs catcher. That probably saved a run. And of course, that run at third is the go-ahead run. Yep. Full count pitch here from Hermida. The Royals have got to him here in this inning, but Hermida gets the strikeout, and that will stop the bleeding. Tie ball game here at Christie Pitts. To the bottom of the 6th we go. It's 7-7. We got a great finish coming up. Cooper Tompkinson is going to lead things off here for the Maple Leafs. 7-7, bottom of the 6th inning. It's been a long one, but an exciting ball game here at Christie Pitts. The Maple Leafs got out to a big lead, 7-1. 6 unanswered runs by the Guelph Royals later, and we're tied here in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
We've had a little bit of everything in this ball game. The Royals have been threatening really all game long, and outside of the big second inning, the offense has just kind of gone a little bit quiet for the Maple Leafs. Nobody has been able to get a run across for the Leafs yet.
Pitch is a strike from Edgar Garcia. You want to work on trying to calculate what you think his pitch count is?
Whatever it says on the screen, plus 14.
Okay. Can you do that math for me? Here's the 1-1 to Tompkinson is outside.
I think it's wrong again.
Oh, no.
Yep. I think it's wrong again.
Pitch count is up there, like 80-ish?
Yeah, it would be about 80 now.
So that one misses inside. It's 3-1.
Because before last inning, it was 50, and plus 14 of that was at 64.
Okay.
So
we'll
now I don't know.
Yeah, we'll try to keep a rough estimate, but it's got to be about 80 right now, as this one's popped straight in the air. Ward calling for it, circling under it, makes the catch with ease. Out number 1. Oh, good play by Matt Ward there on that ball that was hit straight up. It was an elevator shaft shot off the bat of Cooper Tompkinson. Back to the top of the order. Matt Fabian will come to the dish.
Since that big second inning, there's only been 3 hits, 2 of them being singles and 1 being the J.J. Dutton double where he was stranded at third. Other than that, it has been soft contact or strikeout for Edgar Garcia, who is completely settled into this game.
I just looked over at the screen for a moment. Was that Deans warming up in the bullpen?
Yeah, he is here. So that was something we discussed earlier in the game because we weren't sure how many bodies were going to be here. But Brandon Deans, one of the players that actually did come here, and I think it was a last-second thing as well.
That's big because the other arm that we thought was available today was Escorcia, and he threw yesterday. And he's not a guy that goes particularly deep into games, too. He's a relief pitcher. Here's the 1-1. And this one slashed down the line, foul by Fabian. Got a pretty good piece of it, but it was well foul down the line. Now Fabian is going to call time with a big 1-2 pitch coming up. And the 1-2 pitch hit on the ground, past the glove of Garcia. And it's just in time at first base to get Fabian.
So looking down over to the Guelph Royals bullpen again, Deans is now sat back down. Because again, it looks like Garcia has just settled into this ball game very nicely.
Not easy to do. Give up 7 runs and then just start pitching shutdown baseball after that. Those long innings too, it takes so much out of you. An inning that was 29 pitches long, whole bunch of runs scored. And Garcia, I mean, he got into the point where you can't throw pitches out of the strike zone because the Maple Leafs won't swing. You can't throw pitches in the strike zone because the Maple Leafs are hitting you. And out of the strike zone thing, obviously longevity was something. And so Garcia's just said, I'll split the difference and just throw perfect pitches right on the corner for the rest of this game.
Well, you think of it as well, after that big long inning, what do you want to do if you're the Maple Leafs? You want to go out there and basically have a quick second half. Let Garcia get back out there, who's already exhausted after throwing a lengthy inning in the second. That's not what happened. Guelph, they really allowed their starter to kind of get some rest, get refocused on the bench. He came out and he basically fired a perfect inning after that second. He went 4 batters, but it was 2 quick outs, a single, and then a ground out to end the inning.
2 strikes now on Marcus Connect. Think about Edgar Garcia's first outing, 3 innings. Gave up a couple of runs, which is odd by his standards against the Welland Jackfish. Gave up a bunch of runs early and Now has he found his stride to go for the rest of the season. Swing and a miss by Marcus Connect as he strikes out here against Garcia. Well, that will end the inning. 6 we've played here at Christie Pitts. We're tied at 7. 3 innings to go or more coming up.
Get ready, Chatham Kents. For the first time ever in the new Canadian Baseball League era, the 2026 All-Star Showdown is landing at Fergie Jenkins Field on the July 11th and 12th weekend. The All-Star weekend of the new CBL era. It's history in the making.
Well, Ronaldo De Paula will make his Maple Leafs debut here at Christie Pitts. A much anticipated pitcher, 27 years old, out of Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Spent some time in 2024 in the Frontier League with New Jersey, but the bulk of his pro playing career came playing in the Los Angeles Dodgers organization, as high as AA ball with them. He'll play 9-1-2 here as Cush laces one foul off to the left.
No, a lot of people that were excited about his signing with the Maple Leafs, and it's just an arm that can provide length here for this squad.
Gets ahead with a first pitch strike on the foul ball to Cush. Here's the 0-1. High, 1-1. Paula stands at 5'11" on the mound. Not the tallest guy, but brings some big velo with that fastball. The 1-1. In there for a strike on the outside corner. Perfectly placed from De Paula. The 1-2 pitch, just missed. 2-2.
It's interesting to see how many of these reinforcements the Leafs use here tonight. You see Florentino, who's down in the bullpen, just kind of stretching. It looks like he was getting loose. But De Paula, like you mentioned, he's one of the players that just arrived.
This one right back to him. Welcome to the Leafs, De Paula. I found a baseball. One away.
Cat-like reflexes. That was amazing. Ronaldo De Paula caught it like he's been doing it his entire life.
Oh, watch this. An athlete on the mound for the Maple Leafs. Boom. A little bit of flair afterwards as well. What a way to start your Canadian Baseball League career here with the Maple Leafs. Here's Ryan Dos Santos now, who takes a strike. So De Paula has the ability to give the Maple Leafs some length here. didn't start a single game in his minor league career in the Dodgers organization. As this one's chopped high on the ground to first and foul, but did start 7 games in the Frontier League with New Jersey. So something that he has done before, and we're just scratching the surface of what DePaula can bring to this Maple Leafs team here in his first outing. The 0-2 pitch just missed. Kind of sped things up there on Dos Santos. Comes in a big spot too in this inning. Tie ball game here in the 7th. The 1-2 pitch. And it's just low. DePaula is hitting his spots. 2 close takes by Dos Santos.
We've seen the number of times that Dos Santos has had a good eye at the plate like that.
And now it's lined into the outfield, and it's a base hit, and it skips over the head of Dennis DeBanning. This one's going to go all the way to the wall. Ryan Dos Santos is going to hold up at second base, thought about third. And that'll probably go as a single and an error in center field, although that took a wicked hop, so maybe not on Dennis DeBanning.
Yeah, they're going to mark it down as a hard line drive double for Dos Santos, and he's in there at second.
Yeah, I don't know how much chance the center fielder had on that one. Looked like it might have hit a little bump in the grass and just skipped right over his head. Here's Geraldo with a runner in scoring position. Dos Santos goes. Boy, he had that base stolen, but Geraldo got a pitch he liked and fouled it off. Dos Santos got a running start to third base. That would have been a big 90 feet too with 1 away in the inning.
Yeah, nobody was holding him, and even Fabian, he wasn't anywhere near the base. Dos Santos just took off, but again, a common theme that we've seen is that Geraldo's swinging first pitch.
0-1 the count. Bit of a challenge here for DePaula to try and work around the double. And now he thinks about throwing back to second, but there was nobody home. That was done on DePaula's own volition. Oh, 0-1 the count here on Geraldo. Dos Santos holds his ground this time, and the pitch low and away for a ball. Well, if Ryan Dos Santos didn't steal the bag at third, he certainly got the attention of DePaula on the mound.
Yeah, DePaula checking him a lot more now. Still a fairly healthy lead, but again, now that you're in the mind of the pitcher, it's going to be a tougher bag to steal.
Spencer Ross creeping over to try and keep his former teammate close. Dos Santos way off the bag. Doesn't go. Pitch a strike on the inside corner. Geraldo bent out of the way of it, which is why he's displeased with the call. This cat and mouse game at second base is not over. Ryan Dos Santos is taking a monster lead. It would just take Ross and DePaula to be on the same page to pick him off. This one's chopped foul at home plate.
But this is exactly what you want if you're a Royals fan, because Dos Santos, he's taken so much of the attention of DePaula away from Geraldo, where if DePaula is just focused on keeping that runner close and not allowing him to advance 90 feet, he's just going to quick pitch in a fastball, and Geraldo, we've seen the damage that he's been able to do.
Here's the 1-2. Long hold. And it's inside, and it hit Geraldo. Got him on the arm, so he'll head down to first base. I wonder if Ryan Dos Santos is pulling some strings over there at second base and maybe in the back of the mind of DePaula.
Doesn't get easier here. You got Victor Mascai, who we've already seen hit a moonshot to the Little League diamond.
Yeah, you know, this is his first game in the Canadian Baseball League. Just got to the Guelph Royals today. In his first 2 at-bats, didn't look good. Then in his last at-bat, boy, That was a thing of beauty as he crushed it over the wall. And this one goes to the backstop as it kicks off the glove of Brandt. 2 in scoring position now for the Guelph Royals. Oh, DePaula is going to need some magic now to get out of this inning. Things were going smoothly. The first ball was lined right back to DePaula. He made a great play, and now the Royals are just finding a way to sneak around the base paths. Hard hit double by Ryan Dos Santos to center is the big blow in the inning right now. Maskai, the number 3 hitter. The 1-0, and he fouls it off. Took a big cut at that one.
He's put together a couple of really good swings here so far tonight, but it's been really interesting to kind of see his procedures, especially against the lefty to the righties.
The 1-1. And swung on and missed. That's strike 3, fouled, or that's strike 2.
Needs pine tar on the bat.
Okay. He was going back to the dugout.
His hand slipped off the bat
Yeah.
at the swing, and he immediately said to the umpire, saying, I got to go put some more tar on the bat.
2 strikes on him now. 2 in scoring position. Can Maskai be the hero again for the Royals? And he swing and a foul tips it into the glove of the catcher. That's strike 3.
That is a huge strikeout for DePaula.
He still doesn't like the feel of the bat as he heads back to the dugout.
And they just immediately intentionally walk Takamatsu. He didn't even get a chance to walk towards the plate. He took off his leg guard and immediately started going to first base.
Well, when you start to pile up the accolades in a league, people start to take notice. Takamatsu certainly has done that in the Intercounty Baseball League and hoping to do it in the Canadian Baseball League as well. So here's Nadal. Second time in the game they've intentionally walked Garrett Takamatsu. Nadal fouls it off. Now remember, this worked really well for the Maple Leafs last time. They had 1 out in the inning. They walked Takamatsu, and Nadal hit into the pretty much the most tailor-made double play ball you could possibly get. So any out would work this time against Nadal. See if they can make it work twice. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And this time he pops it up. This one's in foul territory, and Tompkinson, I don't know if he would have got there or not, but he fell on the way to try to go get that baseball.
Yeah, the spike caught a lip in the grass or something there.
Yeah, he's lapping it off. I don't think that Tompkinson would have got to that ball, but you never want to fall in front of the opposing dugout. I tripped over the line. He tripped over the line. Thought that was only a hockey thing.
You mentioned what they did earlier, the Maple Leafs. They played with fire, and they were successful earlier with, like you said, walking Takamatsu, then getting the tailor-made double play. This time trying to do the same thing.
Here's the 0-2 pitch, up and away. Boy, DePaula doesn't have to be quick to the plate here because the bases are loaded, but boy, he gets off the mound quickly, doesn't he?
Yeah, it looked like he tried to disrupt the timing there of Nadal and just groove a fastball right by him.
The 1-2. This one's hit in the air, struck well to center field. Back goes Dennis to Banning. He's on the track, at the wall, dives, and he drops. This is going to plate 3 runs for the Guelph Royals. Nadal cruises into third base with what is either going to go down as an error or a triple, but what Guelph cares about is that they've put 3 runs on the board and have taken the lead.
That ball just kept on carrying all the way to the warning track, and the Banning, he got back to the warning track, but it tailed a little bit to his right, and it might have just taken the eye off it for a split second, which caused it to be a little bit misplayed.
That is a big swing. DePaula thought that he had got out of the inning and kept this game tied at 7. The Maple Leafs walked Takamatsu to get to Nadal. They got the fly ball they wanted, but instead it's 3 runs on the board for the away side. And this one's inside to the backstop. Throw to the plate late. Nadal scores. That'll clear the bases in the inning on the wild pitch, and it's a 4-run lead for Guelph.
And they actually do put it down as a triple, so the 3 RBIs going to Davis Nadal, and gets a run scored there, displaying the speed.
Nadal hit the ball well, but the Maple Leafs will need that ball to get caught. 2-0 the count as DePaula now sees his pitch count climb in the inning. He's throwing 24 of them. The Royals have come back with 10 runs in a row here against Toronto. There's a strike from DePaula.
How about in back-to-back innings, though? It's been the top of the order that have scored, and both times they've scored 4 runs. 6th and the 7th, they've scored 4 runs apiece.
Right, which was a theme last game as well, last night for this Royals team. The top of the order just mowing down opposing pitching. And the 2-2 pitch misses, just missed, full count. DePaula has thrown 10 balls and 15 strikes in the inning. The 3-2. Leader pops this one up on the infield. DePaula calls for it, and he makes the catch. And you can see a bit frustrated as he spikes the ball into the mound. In his first outing with his new team, gives up 4, but was hoping to get out of that inning on the fly ball. It's a 4-run inning for the Guelph Royals. They lead 11-4. Still lots of runway to go here in this one at Christie Pitts. Well, Yasiel Puig coming to the dish. This was earlier in the game. A big swing, and he crushed it to left center field. Maple Leafs need base runners. They take some power now here in this game, and Yasiel Puig certainly supplied that back in the first inning.
Yeah, they're looking for something. They haven't had any offense really come through since that second inning. Puig got the party started. And he saw Garcia very well in that first at-bat. He's had 3 strong hits, 2 singles, 1 home run.
Yasiel squaring to bunt there. Ends up taking it for a ball. Don't think that he's going to bunt against his former MLB counterpart. Here's the 2-0. Puig taken all the way, and it's 3-0. All close misses there from Edgar Garcia.
Dean's back up over in the Royals bullpen, so again, the deeper this game gets, and with Garcia still on the mound, it gets better and better for the Royals.
Yasiel Puig thought that he had drawn the walk much to the ire of him and a lot of the fans here. Three and one the count on Yasiel. Big cut, popped up. This one hooking towards the fence. It stays in play, and Takamatsu makes the catch. Yasiel Puig pops out. Damage averted for the Royals.
Just missed it there. Got the pitch that he wanted, but perfectly placed by Garcia to just miss the barrel of Puig.
So Yasiel Puig's got 3 home runs. That ties him for Dennis DeBanning and a bunch of other players for the league lead in that department. Puig had those 2 home runs on opening day, didn't hit one since, and he's right back where we thought he would be, top the IBL home run leaderboard. Here's the 0-1. DeBanning a big cut. Swings over the top of it.
Man, Garcia's been efficient in the later half of these innings. I mean, it's been remarkable because normally you don't see pitchers get so comfortable late in games, but Garcia's done it.
Ground ball. Throw to first, picked by Takamatsu to record the out on Dennis DeBanning. Kush with the throw, Takamatsu with the pick. J.J. Dutton will come to the plate now with 2 outs in the 7th inning. Maple Leafs are starting to run out of outs. They need 4 runs. Deans continues to loosen in the bullpen for the Royals. Here's the pitch to Dutton, and it finds the zone right at the bottom of the strike zone. You can kind of see it on the camera at center field, but there's like a little bit of a fog that's kind of rolled in along the field. I can kind of feel that cool air starting to blow up the hillside.
Getting late here at the pits.
That or I just need to clean my lens. I think it is a bit foggy though. Here's the 1-1 to Dutton. That one bounces in the dirt.
J.J. Dutton's had a good game, 2 for 3. He's hit the ball hard, both of his at-bats that he's been on base. Trying to get the offense sparked. Again, it's been quiet ever since that 2nd inning.
2-1 on Dutton. 3-1 now. Garcia, again, we're not entirely sure what the pitch count is, but it's got to be around the triple-digit mark at this point.
He's just done a good job managing this game. I think that's the biggest takeaway, and I continue to go back to it, but the lengthy top half of the 3rd that the Royals were able to put up is huge.
Kush with another play. On to first. Not in time. Couldn't get the speedy J.J. Dutton, and the inning will continue for the Maple Leafs. If you're Edgar Garcia on the mound, you get the ground ball, you make the perfect pitch, you're 100 pitches deep, thinking, man, would have loved to get through that out.
Would have been great.
Although Deans can cover 2 innings. Escorcia we thought probably couldn't. Deans could in the bullpen. And he's a solid pitcher too down there. Pitched a lot actually here at Christie Pitts over the years. So it's Matt Brandt. Both of his home runs have come late in ball games. And Brandt fouls it off. It's not like he's, just seen the starter a lot. He's got to some good relievers. He had a home run off of Danny Howitt on the Welland Jackfish. He was one of the better relief pitchers in the league last season. And then hit one off Luis Ramirez, who was a former MLB prospect. Now he's got an actual former major leaguer on the mound here. And J.J. Dutton is picked off. He's in a rundown. He'll try to evade Takamatsu. Dutton still running. The Royals throwing it around, and J.J. Dutton is finally tagged out as Guelph just kept chasing him back and forth, and eventually he was was run down on the infield. J.J. Dutton was going. Garcia timed it perfectly, and J.J. picked off to end the inning. Well, the Guelph Royals find themselves on a 3-game win streak, and Zach, some similarities from last game. So this was last game, ended up coming back, a comeback victory against Hamilton, went down early, came back and won. And boy, we've seen the same thing today, but to an even bigger extent here in this one.
Yeah, they were down 3-0 in that game, and then they had that massive 5th inning where the bottom of the order got the ball rolling, and then the top of the order, the offense really started coming through. This game, it's just been the top of the order. The last 2 innings, the top of the order has scored a combined 8 runs, and it's just tremendous stuff out of this Royal squad. I talked with a bunch of the players after last night's game, and kind of the running theme was we were never worried about being down 3-0. We felt confident. We know this team is good. The offense is going to come around, and it really has. And I have a feeling that was the same message going around the dugout in this game. You know, you're down 7-1. Don't worry. We still have a really strong offense, and that's what they put on display here today.
10 unanswered against this Maple Leafs team. They lead 11-7. New pitcher of the game for the Maple Leafs. This is Alex Lanigan. He's done a nice job in his first 2 outings of the year. Lanigan pitched against the London Majors most recently. That was on May 29th. Gave up a couple hits but didn't allow an earned run in 2/3 of an inning. Pitched an inning against Hamilton scoreless as well 2 days prior to that.
New pitcher, a new batter. Ashton Patterson picks up a bat here for Marcos Castillo.
Good day for Castillo. Had a couple of hits. Ashton Patterson has been on this Guelph Royals team for a couple of seasons now. Kirk Gibson has also come into the game in left field for the Maple Leafs.
Patterson went 1 for 4 last night, but the hit that he had was probably the biggest one. It was a bunt single in the 9th that he was able to get on. There's also a defensive sub in the ball game. Kirk Gibson has come in place of J.J. Dutton.
He's also played first base for the Maple Leafs a bit this season. Patterson hits one on the ground into the outfield past a diving Cooper Tompkinson, and a leadoff hit for Ashton Patterson in his first plate appearance of the evening. J.J. Dutton was the left fielder. He's out of the game. Remember, he got picked off to end the inning, and now he's been replaced in left field, if you want to read into that at all.
Well, I was going to mention that Dutton really, he's been dancing off the bases all night long, and Garcia hasn't been picking off towards him. He's just been trying to time it up. He hasn't gone at all. He's just gotten that running secondary lead. But this time it was Garcia that just decided, you know what, I'm going to throw over, time it, because he figured out the timing of Dutton.
Almost wonder if that was signaled by the catcher as well. Saw Dutton. It was timed up perfectly. That's a good call by you there. 2-0 here on the catcher, Matt Ward. That one's well outside. 3-0 now on Ward.
You talk about Ward and what he's been able to do, and you mentioned it's probably his call that had the pickoff.
Oh, yeah, green light there. Now it's 3-1. Alex Lanigan has pitched for the Hamilton Cardinals a bit as well. Had a really good year in the 2023 season. 38 innings, an ERA just over 2. Now he misses high, ball 4. And we got a couple of runners on bases. That'll push Ashton Patterson to second base in scoring position. Nobody out in the inning. He's helping out with some team operations last season as well. And Maple Leafs hoping that he can be an effective arm in relief. And boy, they need him to throw a scoreless frame here if they want to have any chance of coming back in this game. And they could. The Maple Leafs have shown that they've got a good offense as well. They've got 7 runs today. 6 of them came in the second inning. Kyle Cush, knowing that maybe 1 run could be the difference, he's scoring to bunt to see if he can move 2 runners in to scoring position.
If you're Toronto, you're just trying to get any shutdown you can possibly get. But, I mean, Guelph, they have just continued to attack. Doesn't matter what part of this order it is, they are just being super aggressive right now.
That's Frankie Golko, who's warming up in the bullpen, the Long Island, New York native. And a pickoff play at second, and it's not in time. And that one was timed to perfection by the Maple Leafs, but Patterson had his head on a swivel and got back.
Looked like there was a possible second of delay in Lanigan trying to get that throw off, and that could have been the difference maker in getting Patterson. Mandalay got there, but they just couldn't get the out.
Here's a tapper. Lanigan has it from his back foot, throws to first. It's cut, and the run is going to come in to score. Oh, no, they're going to send him back. I think someone might have interfered with someone. We got to get this sorted out. They're going to say Lanigan was...
They're calling Kyle Cush out.
Right, so maybe they're saying the runner interfered with Alex Lanigan when he was trying to make that play. Or maybe it's Kyle Cush who interfered. So that's going to go down as an out. Just don't really see anything on the play looking back at the replay, but I guess the Maple Leafs will take it. No run in to score. Runners on first and second with 1 away here. Here's Ryan Dos Santos. Here's the 0-1 to Dos Santos. And now we've got a balk called.
So
both runners are going to move up again.
We think it's been deciphered.
Okay.
Shout out to Gus Cousins beside me. It appears Kyle Cush stepped on home plate after he bunted.
Right, okay.
So he's automatically called out, and the runners return back to their original bases.
Big break for the Maple Leafs there, because that was not going to be an out recorded at first base. So after the balk was called, Dos Santos has 2 in scoring position and takes a breaker for a strike.
Took a little bit of deciphering, but the outcome, we got there eventually.
Yeah.
Me and you weren't going to get there.
No.
But thankfully we have help.
Gus Cousins is always on the ball. Alex Lanigan trying to use a little bit of luck and also a... Okay, so here the umpires are going to talk again. They don't love the way Alex Lanigan's coming to the plate. There was a balk called initially. Now they've just come in to talk about something again, and I'm wondering if the Guelph Royals might be asking as well for him. They just want him to come to a complete stop. Is that,
yeah, I think
is that what it is?
I think that might be the biggest thing right now is he's coming set and he's going straight into his motion. You see there a longer pause.
The 1-2. Let me tell you, that isn't easy when that's something that you start thinking about on the mound as well. That doesn't make this task any easier here for Alex Lanigan. Takes a long pause. Now the pitch. That was a breaking ball and it missed low. Had some sharp break there, but didn't fool Ryan Dos Santos. I think Lanigan is kind of throwing that spike curve with the breaking ball. You can see him kind of digging that finger into the pitch and now misses inside to Dos Santos. That loads the bases. That's not the worst thing for the Maple Leafs. Right now they're worried about getting out of this inning unscathed, and that does set up a forced out at home or maybe a double play.
So it's going to be an interesting at-bat here. Geraldo, he has had 5 at-bats so far in the game. He has swung first pitch in every single at-bat. If you're Lanigan here, are you trying to get something low and have him swing over the top for a double play, or are you going to try to feed a fastball to get him by him?
First and foremost, needs to stay in the strike zone here against Geraldo. And misses outside ball 1.
So he goes with the fastball, but Geraldo this time, he just watched the at-bat with Dos Santos. Elects to just be a little bit more patient.
Here's the 1-0. Chopper. Play by Tompkinson. Only play to first, and they cannot make it. A tapper in a perfect position by Geraldo. An infield single. The Royals go station to station, and they've put up 12 here in the top of the 8th.
You mentioned just a perfectly placed ball. Tompkinson does the right idea just to charge it, but with the speed of Patterson coming down the line from third, there's no chance that you're going to be able to get him. And then you turn back around, Geraldo is hustling out of the box.
Yeah, I think there was maybe a bit of indecision on whether to go home, but I think the big thing was Cooper Tompkinson was just trying to find a grip on that baseball. That'll be it for Alex Lanigan and Frankie Golko into the game for the Maple Leafs. We'll have more on that in just a moment. Well, back here at Dominico Field, Frankie Golko into the game facing Victor Mascai with the bases loaded. Remember, he has a long home run in this one. This time he hits it deep down the left field line, but foul. Over the fence, but foul by a good enough margin.
Yeah, he's been the most dangerous bat here so far. The loudest contact of the day goes to Maskai.
Golko pitched once for the Maple Leafs. Went 5 1/3 innings. Actually, sorry, pitched twice for the Leafs. Went 4 innings last time out against London. And he delivers a strike at the knees, and the count's 0-2. Gave up 4 runs over those 4 innings against London. Had a scoreless inning against Barrie in the Maple Leafs' second game of the season. Ahead of Maskai here, 0-2. High chopper to first. Tompkinson has it, throws home, and gets the force out at home plate. There's a nice play from Cooper Tompkinson, and heads up to save the Maple Leafs a run.
Yeah, he takes the high hop and then fires a bullet over there towards home plate to get a big second out.
First baseman number 4, Garrett Takamatsu.
So Tompkinson with a little bit of redemption on that one to cut down the runner at home plate. Well, Maple Leafs have intentionally walked Garrett Takamatsu twice. Can't do it this time. He's going to get to swing the bat here against Golko. And makes loud contact, but fouls it off.
I'm going to ask you, did you see where that ball went?
No.
Okay. I thought I was the only one.
I've done that a couple times, though, in this game.
The bad part is I'm wearing my glasses, and I lost it about 3 times here tonight.
Yeah, I got contacts, but they're not fully up to prescription anymore.
That doesn't sound good.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one just misses. Golko wanted it. This pitch in the dirt to Takamatsu as Golko continues to stay out of the middle of the zone against the dangerous Takamatsu.
Again, the power hasn't really come through so far this season for Tak, but you got to respect it with the resume that he has in the league. Talk about former Rookie of the Year, former MVP.
2-1 pitch. Tapped. Takamatsu thinks it hit him, and I think everyone is in agreement. Off the foot of Takamatsu. He's already been hit on the foot today. You can see him kind of stretching it out. Frankie Golko played for the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks in the Alaska League. Summer baseball back in 2024. Also spent a couple years with Salem in the NCAA's Division II University Baseball.
We always talk about how strong players are. There's the running joke about Tyler O'Neill in the MLB, how big his forearms are. Garrett Takamatsu is some muscular calves.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Yeah, he's got broad shoulders too.
You can see him from up here.
Went and gave him a little hug before the game. Just hadn't seen him in a while, and my arm doesn't even go around his back shoulder. 3-2 pitch here from Golko, a big one. And Takamatsu hits one well, deep, back goes Connect, and it is off the wall. 2 runs come in to score. It's a long single for Garrett Takamatsu, and the Royals starting to open things up here in the 8th.
That's his second and third RBI of the ball game, and again, it's just easy power going the opposite field. But because of how short it is out there to right, it's just a long single.
Yeah, it hasn't mattered a ton in the end, but man, Marcus Connect has made some smart plays out there in the outfield. Not easy to read a ball that well off a chain link fence, and then we saw the deke of the runner earlier on in the game. In a game that hasn't been particularly clean defensively for the Maple Leafs, Marcus Connect certainly has made some solid plays out there. He's a savvy veteran out there and right. So here's Davis Nadal. The 0-1 pitch misses high, and he's ahead in the count 2-0.
And it was such a strong start for Nick Vasilinovic. Only allowed 3 runs through 4 innings. It was looking solid, but then the tail end of this ball game, it's been 11 runs scored in the last 3 innings.
Three and 0 now on Nadal. Threat of loading the bases again. That's a strike on the outside corner. Nadal had already taken a couple steps down to first base. He thought it was outside. Nadal, one of the imports on this Royals team, 24 years old from the DR. 3-1, same spot, 3-2. This time no argument from Nadal at home plate. Frankie Golko needs to make a big pitch here just to get the Maple Leafs out of the inning. Now trailing by 7. Runner goes, swinging a foul ball. Garrett Takamatsu getting a sprint in over there at first. Thirteen unanswered runs by Guelph. The 3-2 pitch. And in the dirt, ball 4. Nearly hit the runner Nadal as well on the front foot. Bases loaded here with 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Golko looked like he just kind of lost the release point a little bit on that breaking ball. Spiked it in the dirt. Still 2 outs in the inning, though. Just need to get 1 here. Andy Leader at the dish. First pitch swinging. Strike 1. Swung right through it.
You go back to the 7th inning, and it's that 3 RBI triple by Davis Nadal that's kind of taken any momentum out of this game for the Leafs.
This one to the backstop. Matt Brandt scampers back and gets it. There was some question if that ball was going to stay put or go to the backstop, and the runners at the end of the day end up holding on. They don't want to give any free outs on the base paths. That would end the inning for the Maple Leafs and what has been a tedious one for them. Guelph has 14 runs on 15 hits. 4 in the 6th, 4 in the 7th, 3 in the 8th now. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Maple Leafs have hit the ball well today too. They've got 7 runs on 12 hits, but Guelph has been timely and has been really coming on of late.
Their bats have been getting hot over the last 2 games, and well, the Leafs just caught them at a super unfortunate time where everything is just going right.
They would have loved to play this team on the rain delay game. The Guelph Royals hadn't won a game yet. Things were looking kind of bleak, and then all of a sudden they've won 2 games in a row, and the Maple Leafs have got them while they're hot. Here's the 1-2 to Leader, and he fouls it off at Andy Leader. He's being pesky at home plate. Keeps fouling off that upstairs fastball from Golko. Golko has thrown 16 pitches in relief here in the 8th. And a good eye from Leader as he takes low. This inning started with Alex Lanigan, and Golko is trying to get out of it.
Do also need to mention that it looks like Deans is coming into this ball game next inning.
Another full count. Last 2 batters have worked it full here against Golko. Leader fouling off pitches, working the count, bases loaded. Trying to add on to the already great lead here for Guelph. And he fouls another one off. This one goes off the scoreboard.
I don't think I've ever seen that here. It might be the first.
Yeah, so you weren't here last game. It happened twice.
Are we serious?
It was the first 2 times I'd seen it as well. And now it's happened again in consecutive games. They actually they moved the scoreboard up by 3 feet this year.
Did they really?
Just kidding.
Oh.
Just kidding. 3-2 pitch. broken back, ground ball back to the pitcher. Golko underhands it to first, and that will end the inning for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Guelph tacks on 3. They've got 14 and the lead here in Toronto.
What I look for in Rawlings is a combination of things. Something that will kind of maintain for a long period of time. I've had a lot of success with Rawlings over the years.
What I like about my Rawlings glove is the feel. The feel is everything. It's good to get that feel in your hands, and if you have a Rowling, it's more easy to catch. Weight goes a long way, and I feel like Rawlings does a really good job of getting you top of the line leather.
As far as the leather, I usually stick to Pro Preferred. I've actually always used Pro Preferred. I loved it from the start, so I'm kind of a guy, if I like something, I usually don't change it. So since the first day I signed with Rawlings, I've been using Pro Preferred.
What I like about my Rawlings glove is it's always felt the same. It never falls apart. It feels good every single day I put it on my hand, and it's a mark of a pro.
Hey, welcome back to Christie Pitts. Toronto Maple Leafs, Guelph Royals, 14-7 game. As we get into the wee hours of the night here at the Pits.
Welcome back to you too, my friend.
Thanks. Brandon Deans is into this ball game for the Guelph Royals. It was it was a start earlier on in this game. They really needed a deep pitching performance from Edgar Garcia, and they got it. It's not how they thought they were going to get it, but they got it. 7 innings, 12 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them earned, struck out 7. But you take away that 1 inning, and he was dominant. Matt Brandt at the dish takes a strike, and the count's 2-2.
I think he, in that second inning, he just kind of deviated away from his plan, where everything just, kind of rushed on him. He wasn't comfortable, and then the rest of the game happened. The team had his back, and he just gained so much confidence.
Matt Brandt strikes out on a pitch up in the zone, and there's 1 away. So here's Jordan Mandalay. Is there something to be said in games like this? Mandalay's hot right now. He's been swinging a hot bat. Obviously, there's a long way to go to try and come back in the game, but you kind of want to just keep your approach and see if you can keep the rhythm going.
100%, especially with the bottom of this order that has been swinging really well. Matt Brandt, he just got sat down there, but, J.J. Dutton's had a really good approach today. Jordan Mandalay, he has the 1 at-bat with the RBI, and, he's hit the ball hard his other 2 times. Even Spencer Ross, 2 for 3. You just kind of keep that similar approach. Don't deviate away. You want to stay in a good rhythm here.
It's the 2-0 now on Mandalay. Mandalay's had he's kept the approach consistent. You can say that. He's been squaring to bunt a lot early and just taking the first pitch. He did that again in this at-bat. A 3-0 from Deans. That's a strike. If the Maple Leafs were to find a way to come back in the game, they would need Deans to walk some batters. So Mandalay taking a lot of pitches here. And takes a big, healthy swing at that one, but fouls it off, and it's 3-2.
I saw that one.
Good for you.
Yeah, kept the eyes on that one.
A full count pitch on Mandalay. And he fouls it off again.
Looks like he's staying with the approach here, just being aggressive on anything on the inner half.
Another 3-2. Chopped foul this time off to the left. Bottom of the 8th inning, Maple Leafs down to their final 5 outs. Mandalay has fouled off 3 in a row here. And now hits one on a couple of hops to second. And that'll retire Jordan Mandalay for the second out of the inning.
Earlier in the season, Miguel Geraldo over there at second, he had a bunch of errors that it just kind of felt like he was just rushing everything. Nothing looked comfortable. The last 2 games, he's just been in a lot better place when it comes to his fielding. You can kind of see the confidence growing back there at second base.
Another hard hit ball, though, from Jordan Mandalay. If he keeps hitting 2 hoppers on the ground like that the other way, a lot of those are going to get through. Spencer Ross takes a strike. For much of this season, Ross and Mandalay have been back-to-back in the order. Just a brutal approach if you're trying to get guys out. 2 guys that just just are relentless at slapping the ball around and working counts. Yeah.
So good.
Kind of like that part of the Maple Leafs order. Another chopper, just like Mandalay, hits it to the right side. A dive by Takamatsu, and he stayed on the bag. Boy, Geraldo certainly rushed that throw, and Garrett Takamatsu bailed him out at first. And a little slow to get up, back to his feet. Geraldo comes over and says, thank you very much. 3 outs remaining for the Maple Leafs, who trail by 7 first, the Guelph Royals, with a chance in the top of the 9th. Welcome back, Christy Pitts. Top of the 9th inning. Golko back on the mound. Ashton Patterson at the dish. Patterson swings at the first pitch. High chopper to Tompkinson. Flips to Golko, who covers the bag in plenty of time, and that's out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for Frankie Golko. That'll be a welcome sight after a long inning in the 8th for the Maple Leafs.
Efficient in this inning here is Golko. You just get Patterson to roll over on one early.
Before Frankie Golko played for Salem University in the NCAA, spent some time with the Wisconsin Rapids in the Northwoods League. Also played for the Staten Island Dolphins. put on a bunch of different unique teams and now finds himself in the Canadian Baseball League with the Leafs. Also a young pitcher, just 24. Good size on the mound at 6'2". The 0-1 to Ward. Top of the zone, strike 2.
He has a good fastball. It's very lively.
He can throw some pitches for this Leafs team. You know, wouldn't be surprised to see him get another start at some point. Thought in that game against London, you know, it wasn't a perfect outing, but showed some signs that he could be really effective for this Leafs team. Here's the 1-2 to Ward. Popped up. Only question if it's going to stay in play. Brandt over, and did he hold on to it? Yes, sir. Matt Brandt, nice play. I think he was calling off Cooper Tompkinson and ended up diving to make the play.
Yeah, good work there by Brandt. You stay with the ball and you execute it to the best of your abilities. It's always a tough one when you're kind of sailing off that way.
Cooper Tompkinson just said, all right, you got it. Backed out of the way.
New batter in the ball game is Carson Burns. He'll take over the spot here for Kyle Cush.
Third baseman for third baseman.
Kevin Escorcia warming up in the bullpen.
Bet the Royals would rather not use him since he pitched yesterday. It's like you said, he threw a good chunk of pitches yesterday, too?
He threw, I'm trying to find it here. I can't.
I think you said 17 earlier.
Yeah. If I can find it, I'll let you know for sure.
Okay, thanks. Here's the 2-0 now to Burns. Swung on and missed. As Golko gets his first strike in the count. Two-one. Just outside 3-1 now.
Through 15. 12 strikes.
So not enough that you couldn't pitch on back-to-back days. But Brandon Deans he can throw multiple innings. Here's the 3-1. Rip down the line, foul. By inches, it was really close down the line.
Carson Burns hasn't had a lot of playing time so far this season, but he's trying to make the most of his appearances. As I think there's a familiar face standing in the on-deck circle.
As that one swung on and foul tipped in the glove of Matt Brandt. Golko gets the strikeout and gets a 1-2-3 inning for the Maple Leafs. 14-7 the score. Maple Leafs need 7 in the bottom of the ninth. Last chance here for the Maple Leafs at Christie Pitts. New pitcher into the game, Kevin Escorcia, is going to try and get through the Maple Leafs order, starting with Cooper Tompkinson, the first baseman. And the first pitch is in there for a strike, ticks off the glove of Ward.
Scorsia is a fun arm to watch. He's a guy that was built up as a starter through his time with the Chicago White Sox in their farm system, but he really found a lot of success in the Frontier League and became one of the most dominant closers there. And it was because of that pitch right there, that slider. It is a lethal pitch. We always talk about Johannes Alvarado's slider. Well, Kevin Escorcia's, it can play as well.
There's a strikeout. That time he went to the fastball on Tompkinson, and there's one away. Pinch hitter for the Maple Leafs, Jacob Bonson is going to get an at-bat here. You can see Rob and Rich Butler watching on in the background there, both of them teaming up to coach this Maple Leafs team this year. Here's Bonson. That one's ball one. Zach Benoit beside me decided he was going to finally make a prediction. That was a strike. One
wrong.
prediction all game. Wrong. Here's the 1-0.
That's why I don't make predictions.
That one.
Oh, nice one.
Similar spot for a strike, 1-1.
You really had to call me out there. Eh?
It was bad. That one just misses again. Scorsia in and around the strike zone. Bonzon breaks his bat, chops it back to Escorcia, nearly fell, barehanded the ball and flipped it to first. Boy, that play had a little bit more to it than you might think. It looked like he was going to trip, so instead of gloving it with the leather, he just grabbed it with the bare hand. And look, he's talking to his shortstop there, Nadal.
That's how you make a play right there. Pitchers are athletes too. There you go.
Well, any way you can make the play, Guelph will take it. Looking for their third straight victory. Another pinch hitter into the game for the Maple Leafs. This is Sarrett. And he hits one on the ground. Geraldo has it, whips to first, and that's the ball game. The Guelph Royals come back with a comeback victory here against the Maple Leafs. They win 14-7. It was a game that the Maple Leafs looked like they were going to run away with in the second inning, Zach, but boy, this Royals team has been resilient this year.
The Guelph Royals continue their hot play, like you mentioned. It's 3 wins in a row, and they're just playing like a complete unit right now. 1 through 9 in the batting order. They're putting up good at-bats, and I mentioned it numerous times with the broadcast. This is a team that they feel they are always in the game no matter what the score is. They proved it here again today with, I believe, 11 unanswered runs.
13 unanswered runs against this Maple Leafs team. It was 7-1 at one point. They come back, they get the victory. The Guelph Royals proved that sometimes you just need to be patient for things to turn around. Maple Leafs hoping that their patience can pay off and result in some wins as well. We appreciate everyone tuning in. For myself, Thomas West, as well as Zach Benoit. Have a fantastic rest of your evening.